This version of It's Erik Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
Are you ready? I said, are you ready?
It's Erik Nagel. It starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear, it's Erik Nagel.
And thank you, Scott Shannon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. I am Erik Nagel, and joining me, as always, from the frozen tundra known as Arizona, say hello to Jordan.
Hey, everybody.
Look at you. You clean up pretty well.
Yeah, there's a lot of face. I forget how much is under there, so I'm going to let that grow back out a little bit.
All right, fair enough. If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, we need to tell you something. See this, for those of you on the video stream or the video later on, whatever you're doing, you can see on the screen, they have this preset thing up at the top that means something to somebody. We're told that it's important. Please put our show in the #1 spot. Right up there on the left. Imagine your dad's old presets in the car, how his favorite station was in the #1 slot because it was just the easiest to lean over and didn't have to fiddle with the dial and listen to all the
all worn down.
The gobbledygook that the kids of today are listening to. Same concept. Or for a bit of a younger generation, your MySpace top 8.
It's important. Younger are you thinking?
It's important to everybody else but yourself.
Pretty much.
Put us up there in the #1 slot. If you're on Apple and Spotify, do us a kindness, leave us a positive review. It does about the program. And if you want to join us live each and every week as we do the show, YouTube and Twitch are the live rooms. You go over there, you join, you sign up. It's free. Like, subscribe, notifications, all of that stuff. It'll let you know when we are on, and you can come watch the show. Sling your money around in the chat rooms like a big spender that you are. Or if you can't be bothered with any of that and just want to watch this when you're damn good and ready, the videos will always be available on our YouTube channel at It's Erik Nagel. Jordan.
Erik.
Today is somewhat of an important day.
What day is that?
Well, according to the radio prep services, that whatever entity of a morning show is left on terrestrial radio, it's one of those national days.
Rex Manning Day? No, that was April.
No, that's April. And we're just teetering. Well, also it's the stupid NSYNC thing as we're doing the show. The show comes out on the 2nd, but we're doing it the night of the 1st. We're not doing the it's gonna be May thing, but I know that's still a thing to simpletons. We got the Star Wars Day coming up, which we'll get into in just a second. But it's not National Pizza Day for like the 12th time this year, because that seems to show up all the time. It's not National Cheeseburger Day, Cat Picture Day, any of that nonsense. Today is National Salad Day.
You don't win friends with salad. 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 You don't win friends with salad.
I always love when Marge jumps in on a bit, and then it just really makes everybody like, okay, she's just as deplorable as everybody else.
And then Lisa's like, Mom, and she goes, sorry, I got caught up in the rhythm of it all. But yeah, apparently it's National Salad Day. So deal with that information as you will. Welcome to the program. All right.
See, I thought you were, if that was on the prep sheets, at least it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't, it's going to be May.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's ridiculous.
I didn't even put the drop in there.
Good.
I had somebody recommend that to me.
Are you serious?
Yes. And I said, I just laughed.
About you?
And they said, yeah, you should have that for your show. And I said, oh, you're serious? And they said,
you were just waiting for the laugh.
No, they wrote back a question mark, and then I didn't respond any further. I know she was trying to be nice. She does this stuff, radio and what have you. But I was like, no. I hate those national days that radio celebrates. Or like your local morning news team that's trying to fill in the gaps between the national stream of the Today Show, Good Morning America, CBS This Morning, the local ones that try to do their stuff where they're talking to local businesses and residencies and specials that are going on at the Westchester County Fair and those kind of things. They love a good national day, something that they can all repeat ad nauseum, and then it shows up in a montage on John Oliver's show at some point.
Right. It's funny because I just saw like on Facebook, my town that I live in is kind of smallish, and my local Safeway remodeled the inside. But by remodel, I mean they literally just changed where everything was at, so it throws off all the old people in the area and me. And
so they just moved the shelving patterns?
They literally just moved the shelving. They just changed where things are. And then they had a grand reopening. Like, it never closed. It never had – all they did was rearrange it, and they had a grand reopening. And they made, like, a ribbon cutting out of it. I'm sitting there going, what kind of podunk town do I live? I was mad. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Get out of my
You live
life.
in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Right. Those bastards.
If it's not porn, they don't know what to do with themselves out there. But nonetheless – welcome to the show.
Hi.
All right. We got a lot of stuff. Oh, the May 4th. I wanted to talk about that. We're actually doing something about May 4th Day for Star Wars. It's Sunday, right? Sunday or Monday?
Sunday. 4th,
yeah, Sunday. Okay. So we're going to be releasing a special episode. And that special episode is going to be Death Star Radio. For stormtroopers by stormtroopers. It's essentially the morning show that was on broadcasting on the Death Star the day the Death Star exploded. So we have that special. We have our friends from Masters of None. They're going to be on to talk a little bit about it. And then you'll hear the special in its entirety on May the 4th. So extra content for y'all.
And that's a good way to celebrate, not the normal way of just being dumb.
Well, everyone's posting memes in the 5th.
Are they already?
Revenge of the 5th, right? Isn't that the next one?
Yeah, Revenge of the 5th.
And then what's the 6th? I know they were trying to do something on the 6th too.
Is there I don't know.
Because it seems like Revenge of the 6th should have been.
It makes sense, but then you just get. Well, I mean, I guess Cinco de Mayo is right after, so you can just make a 3-day.
Yeah. So instead of having Revenge of the 5th,
for Andor,
you go May the 4th. Cinco de Mayo, Revenge of the 6th.
Sure.
It works. But of course, Star Wars is not good at branding anything anymore. So, although Andor is fantastic, season 2.
It is.
3 new episodes dropped earlier this week. I haven't watched those ones yet, but I watched the previous 3 from last week, and it's weird. I'm enjoying it, but it's a little weird. The upscale techno dance ball with all the rich and the elite was a little off-putting, but nonetheless, go give that a gander. It's the only good Star Wars property happening right now. We got a lot of stuff to get into today. I don't have a breaking news or hot news thing for us. Not yet. I should have made one, but I didn't. I've got a news alert for you.
Oh.
Something is hitting the Earth next week.
Oh, finally.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Yeah. So it's legit. I looked it up.
Okay.
It's a thing, and we're going to go to our pal Astro Alexandria. You know who she is.
I do. I love her. She does a lot of great science and space content.
She's all things astronomy.
Instagramatrons.
Right. Shits on astrology. All about astronomy. Goes on like ventures to places where one video she went to the darkest part of the United States. And let's not fill in our own cities from our areas. It was a part of Western Texas where there's no light pollution whatsoever. So much so that they have like those giant telescopes set up.
Right.
And you could go there. It's like a campground. They take you on a tour of this place. They show you at night. You're just sitting there, scanning the galaxy. Like she's really into it.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, she's the kid that won the space camp prize at the end of Double Dare.
I'm jealous of that. That would have been great.
Instead of those stupid Schwinns when you wanted a Huffy bike. because the sponsorship changed over.
Or Casio keyboard.
Right.
Like,
So anyway, she's here with an update about what's going to hit the Earth next week.
Everything's going to be okay. However, next week, sometime between May 7th and 13th, a spacecraft that has been orbiting Earth for over 50 years is going to hit Earth. This is insane. A spacecraft called Cosmos 482 was launched in 1972. It was meant to travel to the planet Venus to explore its incredibly hot and toxic and acidic atmosphere and surface. But instead, things went wrong and it broke up into pieces in orbit around Earth, where some of it has been for the last 53 years. And now a chunk is falling to Earth, and astronomers believe it's the chunk that was supposed to land on Venus. And that's the problem, because normally when satellites and stuff come back to Earth, they burn up and disintegrate when they re-enter Earth's atmosphere. But this was meant to go to a planet, a crazy planet, Venus. So it has a heat shield and it's meant to withstand up to 300 Gs of acceleration. So there's a really good chance it does make it to a planet's surface, just the wrong planet. It's probably going to hit Earth. It's not super big. It's coming in like a 1,000 pounds and about 3 feet in diameter, but it will be traveling incredibly fast because it will basically be falling from outer space. This is what the orbital path is looking like. So there's a good chance it'll land somewhere along this line. And a lot of it's over the ocean.
All right, hold on. Before we continue.
I wish we could zoom in, because I hope I could find out where in Arizona that's going to hit.
I love the optimism. I was like, well, a lot of it is over the ocean, so there is a chance it's just going to hit the water. This is not one of those controlled burns.
No, this is going where it's going.
When they know how to program the trajectory of going in from like capsules and shuttles landing, and when they're trying to force satellites from low orbit to disintegrate, whatever, they know how and when and all that stuff that it'll land. I think it's pretty much the Indian Ocean, I think, is the big junkyard for all space stuff. This is just like, well, it's out of our hands. And the problem was this was meant to go to a planet that was, vastly more out of control than Earth was, even when Earth was forming. Back when they look at prehistoric era with the volcanoes and greenhouse effect and all of this stuff. Venus is super dangerous. This thing was meant to last on Venus, so it's just going to fly into our Earth, and good luck that it doesn't hit a Southwest airline flight somewhere. But look at the line. So yeah,
I know
it could be going over your house. It goes north of us into Canada, so that's great. And then Atlantic Ocean. And if you had to wager odds on where this thing's going to land, right? I would split it between landmass and ocean betting, right?
Right.
Landmass, if you look at it, it looks like it's going to land somewhere in Africa. Just by the percentage.
You've got a lot of land to deal with. So yes.
Right.
If you were going to pick a land spot, that would be your best.
The ocean is anybody's guess on this thing here. I'm hoping it's near your house. I'm really hoping, because it'd be great to show Arizona once again. Well, actually, not once again. For once, getting into the news on its own accord, not piggybacking existing stories.
Well, we already have what we call the meteor crater up in the northern part of Arizona, near Winslow, Arizona,
right?
Made famous by the Eagles. And then there's there legitimately is a thing called meteor crater. You go up there, you pay your money, you go in, and you see a giant just hole in the ground. And it's not even the Grand Canyon. It's just a hole in the ground.
Right.
It was featured on the movie Starman back with Jeff Bridges back in the 80s. But yeah, I've been there. It's just a giant hole. You look out and they've put like a little mannequin out in the middle of it to just show distance. And it is giant, just massive. So they're saying like a meteor hit, created a big hole. And of course we have to capitalize on it. But we could use another. Apparently Arizona is just full of holes. We might as well add one more to it.
And then, sell ridiculous gems and cheap gas.
Yeah.
Right there. All right, let's continue.
Spencer Pratt move out here, rebuild his house in Arizona for cheap. And
then the Earth opens up and swallows that house too. And now he's back slinging more bad pop songs, trying to make amends.
And it could land somewhere else. Or maybe it's been in space for so long and traveled through so much radiation that its heat shield sucks now and it doesn't hit the surface. But it would not hurt to keep an eye out.
You know what? Hey, look up every now and then, just in case.
Oh, I want to point out one other thing. Hold on. Let's go back to that a second. She does very well. She makes a lot of money, and she's legit. Like, she's got science degrees and stuff. You know, she's as legit as it comes. She can't pay for an editing software to get rid of the watermark.
CapCut.
She's using CapCut. It's like when you see like Britney Spears videos where she's dancing like crazy, and then it says InShot in the corner. It's like she's almost a billionaire, and she couldn't afford, what is it, $15 to unlock the app
for the year. Yeah.
It's always funny seeing those celeb videos. It's like they put it all together, and it's like, you still have the watermark on it, you cheap fucks.
That's so funny. But yeah, I enjoy her content immensely. She is very knowledgeable. I'm very excited to see what she tells us that we're all going to die because of Sputnik 5 or whatever it's called.
Right. Tom, our pal Tom from Alberta, who has a good chance of having that land somewhere near him in Canada.
Be on the road.
I zoomed, Jordan. It looks like it'll miss Arizona to the north.
Well, here's the hoping.
Well, maybe it takes out Utah and their shitty hockey
for my
team.
Hockey. Exactly.
It hits their arena for the hockey team, and you're like, see?
I knew it.
Just desserts for all of that.
I waited a year, but it was worth it. Thanks, Russia.
You know, I always love when they give you, like, the news gives you the reports about meteor showers or a comet or something. And a lot of the times they said, well, but if you're in an area with a lot of light pollution, you're probably not going to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, being on the outskirts of New York City, it's almost impossible. Even at night, you see some stars, but it's like, I'm not going to see this meteor shower. Oh, the Aurora Borealis is extending down past Canada because it just does sometimes. Oh, didn't get to see that. I had to go west from where I live. Remember that a while ago where the sky was all pink? I showed you that photo. Yeah, you had to go west a bit in order to see it. You got to get away from the cities. So you've got nothing by you. You turn 3 blocks away from your house and you lose cell service for 15 miles.
3 blocks? I'm in my driveway and I lose cell service. This is why I can't ever
you'll
talk
see
to you
all
between
of this
the
stuff.
entrance of my neighborhood and my house. I'm like, hey, I'll call you back in a minute.
So if you see something like just a big fireball in the sky, go out there and record it. Bring it to the show.
I'll get some video of it. Yeah, last week there was a meteor shower, the Lyriads, I believe, and I was watching those out from my just driveway because
I did go to look, and alas, was not meant to be.
Yeah,
I looked up and I said, "Oh, it's kind of cloudy."
Yeah, I had clear skies, nice and dark. I saw on average maybe like 5 or 6 within an hour, so it was kind of cool.
Right.
It's nice to see that kind of stuff. I mean, it's simple stuff, but it's fun. I love science. I love the night sky. I know we like to joke, but we both are into like space stuff, science stuff, and things like that. So yeah, every time there's some kind of celestial event, meteor showers, eclipses, things like that, I'm always a nerd for that.
I always have to scan Twitter to see or Instagram and say, all right, who took video so I can live vicariously, even though I'm on the same planet as them. I can't see this celestial event because of the lights of New York City. Moving on. Announcement today, the Radio Hall of Fame nominations came out.
Oh, really?
And if you don't remember, for the longest time, I was pushing really hard to get Opie, Anthony, and Jim Norton nominated for this year's.
You were doing a big push the last couple weeks.
Right, because they opened it up to the public for the first time. So took full advantage of it, and I was spamming it out there. I was going on other shows promoting it to get people to vote. Ant and Jim also, did a kind of a push. We all were kind of like, there's no way they're going to nominate this show. But we tried. And from all the responses and stuff I saw, a lot of people went and voted. The list comes out. None of them. Not
one. I'm looking now.
None of them. And there's like 3 celebrity names on there. D.L. Hughley, who I know has been doing a radio show for a while, so he is kind of legit.
Yeah.
But Alice Cooper, all I could think of is Alice Cooper, if he's doing local radio, I don't know, or is he doing a national music show?
If he's doing local, I don't know about it because he's local here. Like he is an Arizona resident. I haven't seen anything.
Like there's stations in LA that used to do a lot of, I wouldn't even say stunting. They had opportunities to get celebrities to do shows for the longest time. I remember they had an indie station in LA. I think it was like 100.3 or 103.1 or something. I think it was just called Indie. And the afternoon show was hosted by Dickie from the Boss Tones.
Dickie Barrett?
Yeah. And he did it for a long time.
Well, that's cool.
So they were getting musicians hosting legitimate shows out in LA. Yeah. So I don't know if it's one of those deals, but Alice Cooper's on the list. D.L. Hughley, famous comedian, TV, all of that stuff, has been doing radio for at least a decade or so in the New York area.
Yeah.
So I kind of get that. But then you see all the other shows, and a lot of them are legends, like Funkmaster Flex. I have no problem with.
I was going to say, that's a name.
He's a legend in the hip hop community from the early days. Was like the nighttime guy on Hot 97 in New York City forever. But then you see like Bob and Cheryl, which is a really shitty light FM, soft AC kind of a morning show, but they've also been around for like 30 years. So I guess you got to give it to them too. But
Big D and Bubba.
Yeah, and I think their show got canceled.
Right.
This year. I think they're an iHeart property. I think they got pulled. They're either iHeart or they're Odyssey, but I thought their show got pulled from syndication and all that stuff. Anyway, there's like 20, 30 names on that list, and none of them I know got voted by the public.
I mean, Colin Cowherd's pretty popular. He's big into the sports side of things.
More like he got it from because of his sports affiliations and stuff, right? So that he just, I understand why a lot of these people are in there. There's ways you look at it and you go, yeah, I don't like them, but I get why they would be nominated, and they do deserve it. But if you opened it up to the public, none of these names here, I think anybody in the public voted for.
Well, and here's a name that I don't think anybody in the public voted for, but everyone in the public, at least public being like our age and stuff, would know of. Martha Quinn's on this list. And I mean, that would be, if you're going to put someone in Radio Hall of Fame, okay. She VJ.
Yeah, she definitely.
iHeart stuff.
She was on Sirius XM for the longest time with the other living original MTV VJs. Then iHeart stole her away from Sirius, so they couldn't use that moniker anymore. They just said with the living, and how belittling is that if you're like Alan Hunter or Nina Blackwood and everything, and all your promos say with the living MTV VJs. It's like, yeah, we know the one guy, Mark Goodman or whoever, died. Not Mark Goodman. I forgot. Somebody died, and the rest of them were still alive, the original 5. And now they're just still calling him. He's like, well, they're still living. They're here on Sirius XM. Martha Quinn went to iHeart, and they gave her a big syndication platform many, many years ago for doing just 80s, custom 80s shows.
Of course.
So
Kennedy was later, right? Like she wasn't part of the original?
Kennedy was in the 90s.
That's what I was going to think. Yeah,
Kennedy, she was part of not all, what was it? Not 120 Minutes, because that was Matt Pinfield. But when they would do the alternative stuff, whatever the alternative division of MTV, I forgot what they called in the 90s. But yeah, that was Kennedy, same time as Downtown Julie Brown. And when we had Gabby on, we talked about Club MTV with Eric Nyes. That was all 90s.
Right. That was
Ricky
good.
Rackman from Headbangers Ball, Dre and Ed.
That's Ricky Rackman.
Yo MTV Raps,
Ed Lover.
Yeah, but I don't know. So the this year's nominations, none of them seem to be anything that people voted. Like I looked at. Sorry, I was getting a text for something. Apologies for that. I don't like doing that. None, like if there were some names on there that I didn't kind of know their radio background, I would look and like, who is this person? I'd go and look it up and go, wow, that's out of the blue. That must have been an audience vote. There was none of that. None. Because I know after we were pushing for O&A for the longest time, Drew Lane from the Drew and Mike show and his staff took the idea and ran with it, which was fine. It's open to everybody. So they were pushing because he was part of that legendary morning show, Drew and Mike. for almost 30 years or something out of Detroit. Bubba the Love Sponge took it and then started posting his thing on there. Like, whether you like him or not, everything, a legendary name in the business. He's had a bigger problem getting any kind of credibility because of all the shady shit he's done over the years.
Yeah.
But he's still a name. And if he got in there, you would know that his audience voted for him. There was nobody on that list that I could honestly say, I don't think anybody in the public voted for those people.
No, and I'm looking at the 2024 inductees as well, and I'm sitting there going, it feels the same way.
Yeah.
Like the only real big name people would talk about would be Phil Hendry from last year.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it.
These
are all very deep cut, like radio. Like if you're in the radio industry or in the industry at all, like you would know them, but you know, you're not going to get the audience voting these people in.
No. So it's just like every other kind of award show for this industry. It's just, oh, wait a minute. In the chat there, Crack the Whip. Thank you for watching on Twitch. Alternative Nation. Thank you.
That was Kennedy's or
Kennedy was part of that. There was somebody else that was part of it too. And then Matt Pinfield was part of that, but also did 120 minutes at night.
Do you remember Jesse? Ugh.
That stunt in
2000?
Yeah. Jesse Camp be an MTV VJ. So here's the list, right? Yep. So Big D and Bubba, I know they were a regionally syndicated show, so I get it. Same with Bob and Sherry, been around. They're ancient as hell. So they've been around forever. This guy, I don't know, Bob Surratt, Bob Shroud. We know Colin Cowherd, DL, we know. But some of these people here, it's like these are executives or these are, you know, legendary programmers or something like that. I didn't do enough research into them to figure out who it is. Funkmaster Flex, Joey Reynolds was big name in talk radio in New York City for decades. Who else is in here? John and Ken, never heard of. This could be a vote in. I don't know. John Garabedian used to host Open House Party. It was a syndicated show on Fridays and Saturday nights that top 40 stations or hot AC stations would take to just fill overnight programming so they didn't have to do anything. Kid Leo was a famous jock out of Cleveland, worked at Sirius XM for the longest time. He's in an Eric Carmen video. I can't think of the name of what it is, but it's where Eric Carmen's in a radio studio, and this is the jock that's talking to him for that. Larry Elder, I know the name. I can't remember why I remember him. But Martha Quinn. There's people here that are legitimate names. Mojo, you met him at
was he the one wearing the football jersey? I know there was a morning show there. They were all
no, that wasn't him. Gear. But Mojo's out of Detroit. You met him at the morning show thing.
I recognize him. I just couldn't place him where I saw him.
But these are just. I don't think maybe John and Ken, but I don't think any of these names are people we're openly voting for, because these are all legends a lot of them are legends or just long-termers in the business.
Right.
It's just disappointing to see that this whole thing seems to be another one of those things that it's bought and paid for. Like, unless your company's spending a lot of money to get nominations and what have you, you can buy your way into this thing. And it just goes to show why, you know, what we did in radio, what we're still doing for radio and what have you, will never get honored, never get awarded, never any of that stuff. That's not why we were in the business to begin with, but we realized that this is just how it is. You'll never get that thing, or you'll die, and several years later they'll acknowledge you. Like Alan Combs. Do you know who Alan Combs is?
I recognize the name, but yeah, I don't.
Alan Combs was originally co-host with Sean Hannity on Fox News.
Okay.
The show was called Hannity and Combs. Alan was a
right.
lawyer, staunch liberal, and Hannity being Christian conservative and conservative talk radio, what have you. They did that show forever, I think since the launch of Fox News, and then they decided to split. Alan Combs was going to do something else, so then it just became Hannity's show at night. Alan died. It took 7 years for them to finally nominate him. And he was on that Air America disaster. Mm-hmm. If you're not familiar what Air America was, Air America was an attempt to make liberal talk radio as big as conservative talk radio is around the country and around the world. They tried. It didn't really work. It wasn't catching on. They lost a lot of money. They had big names like Mark Maron was on there. Janine Garofalo was on there. I know Alan Combs was doing stuff. There's a bunch of other names. But yeah, he didn't get nominated till several years after he died.
Right.
Which sucks because radio's not, I mean, it's a big industry, but it's not as big as like getting nominated for Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame or NFL or the Oscars or something like that. To win an Oscar after you died kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And it's not like you died just out of the blue. It's just you lived a long life and they just decided not to honor you until after you were gone. I think that's how it's gonna look for Opie and Anthony.
I was gonna say Air America had a friend of the show, Lionel, was part of the lineup originally back, I think, like the mid 2000s.
Lionel's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
But he's crazy in the good way. Depending on the topic, you can't tell which direction he leans.
Yeah.
It's just all crazy and it's all fantastic and it's all entertaining. That's why I love Lionel.
Oh, Lionel's great.
But lo and behold, 2025 nominees list are out and O&A did not make it. But if they open it up again next year, I am going to solicit and spam that thing as fast as we can. Get everybody to be a part of it because I think talk radio needs to be more represented in there for what it's done for the radio industry altogether. Because a lot of these people are like, oh, these are legendary hosts and stuff. Yeah, but they host on music stations and they host syndicated music programs. They weren't long form talk stuff. Not knocking what they did. But there's other people in this business, too, that should be nominated. Like, once Howard retires, I think that, they're probably going to nominate him. I don't know if he goes to it or not. But do you think they'll nominate Ron and Fez or Don and Mike or Lex and Terry or Bubba or Opie and Anthony or, I don't know, whoever else is out there that was doing that kind of radio? Mancow, as much as I hate him. But
oh my God, I forgot about Mancow.
But he was in the genre,
Mm-hmm. Frosty, Heidi, and Frank. God, I hated those guys.
Yeah.
Also, Make Me Lose Control is the Eric Carmen song for all of you who want to go see.
Thank you. That had Kid Leo in it.
Yeah.
Correct the whip.
So I was thinking of the other one.
I would push for that next year if everyone to do a mass vote to nominate Scorch. That'd be hilarious. What was going on with you in your school district?
Oh my God. So yesterday, Wednesday, the last day of April, got the kid, it's the weekday, school's still going. Arizona school's out next month. So we're kind of just going through the motions. We're hitting the end of the year and, got the kid ready in the morning. He does kind of like a modified schedule. So he goes in kind of earlier than most.
Right.
But then he's out by like noon. So like he's a shorter day, doesn't get a full recess, doesn't get a full lunch, packs in all the knowledge and then comes home early, which is great for my work schedule and able to get that done. So get him to school, drop him off probably around like 7:10, 7:15, start school. I'm driving home and it takes like 15, 20 minutes to get home. Like I'm not close to his school. It's outside what district I'm in. So it's a better school, STEM based, all that stuff. I finally get home, check my phone, and I got an email from the school. Not a text, not a phone call, an email. There is a water main break in the town that the school is in. We're just letting you know. Okay, that was the one email. 2 minutes later, get another email. Yeah, we can't keep your kids here. Please come get your kids. Again, not a text, not a phone call, an email. What if I wasn't looking at it?
If it's that urgent, yeah, why didn't they have everybody's phone numbers? Why didn't they, or some school districts use an app?
Yeah, they have some kind of like, I guess they have some kind of, SMS push.
Right.
That's supposed to go as emergency stuff, things like that, things like this happen. Maybe there's a lockdown situation. You're supposed to have these kinds of things in place.
Right.
Thankfully, I work from home. It sucks because like literally 5 minutes away from starting the shift. I had to do stuff. So I was like, all right, I let people know I was going to be late, get back in my car, drive back to the school. I show up and it's pure chaos. Like cars are just parked wherever they want. They're off getting their kids. They have.
It looks like when the Simpsons, on the drop of a hat, all of a sudden start flipping over cars and the whole city's on fire. Hydrants are burst, shooting into the air.
Some guy jumps out the window. No, don't panic. And he jumps right back in the window, sits back down. There was, so there's just cars everywhere. Everyone parking where they can park just to get their kids. And it's just chaos. Like it's not like when you do normal parent pickup where they got the kids out lined up and you can just pull up, they get in and whatever. They can't just hand people to kids to people. So you got to walk up, and they had them kind of behind the gated area, and some lady standing out there with like a walkie-talkie. And I walk up, and she goes, "Which one belongs to you?" And I'm just like, okay. So
she doesn't say which one is your kid.
Yeah, which one belongs to you? And I'm like, okay, like which one belongs to you and what teacher? So I'm like, okay, and I almost forgot his teacher's name.
It's like, just pick one and get him out of here.
Yeah, I'll take the blonde one right back there.
They're all just standing in the hallways doing nothing. Just grab a couple of them if you could, just so we can start clearing out this space.
I turned to one of the moms and was like, I love how they're free range like this. You just pick one out. So I, give the name, give the teacher. She calls back on the walkie-talkie. A couple minutes later, I can see him come walking out with an escort teacher or whatever. The funny thing is I'm standing next to this mom. She's got one kid with her, but she's waiting for another. Mm-hmm. The lady with the walkie-talkie goes, "Who are you waiting for again?" And she says a name, girl's name. She goes, "Oh, I thought you were looking for so-and-so." It was a boy's name. So the mom just kind of like heavy sigh. She's been waiting there a while. She radios back.
Oh, she left 10 minutes ago with some guy. I don't know. I thought it was her dad. What?
So, yeah, I know. So she comes out. She grabs the kid by the wrist, kind of not like jerking the kid,
dragging
but like
him,
just dragging around. And she goes, "We got to get out of this place. I'm pissed off," or something to that effect. She was like mad about this. Parents are upset. I get my kid. We get in the car and I go, "Hey, how was your day?" And he goes, "Short." I'm like, all right, cool. So the water main breaks. Can't let kids be in there.
Hold on,
funny
Tom
that
from
within the
Alberta
hour
is saying dogs and cats living together.
The city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportions. Old Testament, real wrath of God type stuff.
Exactly.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes.
The dead rising from the grave.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
If that was in the email, then I would be like,
that was in the email.
Wow, okay,
That's in
this
the text that they sent.
like that would have not have fit in a text. That's good about that. It's good that they put it in the email because it filled it out nicely. Go ahead. So you're leaving the school now with a random kid of your choice.
Yeah, random kid of my choice, and it's funny that in the hour that he was dropped off and he got picked back up, the rumors about what was going on spread amongst the children. I asked him, "Hey, what's up? What's going on? How, what's going on? Did you, just let me know how it was going on with you on the other end of things." And he goes, "Yeah, apparently a kindergartner clogged one of the toilets and caused the school to shut down." And I'm like, that's not even remotely what happened. Like,
what did the kid eat?
I don't know, but apparently clogged the toilets. So take the kid home, hook him up with some snacks. He's playing Fortnite, watching YouTube, whatever. I clock into work and start doing work. I get an email probably like maybe 10 minutes to 10 in the morning.
Right.
All right, everything's been settled. Everything's good. Bring your kid back, or they'll be marked absent.
You can't. Once you sign your kid out, if they say, for those kind of things, they can't say, "Oh, you need to bring him back now." If you just lost the day because of an emergency situation.
Well, and my thing is that he's got that modified schedule. So he was going to be done at noon anyway. So you have me drive him to school, come all the way back, and then have to go bring him back in 2 hours, go home for maybe 20, 30 minutes, turn around, come back to pick him up at noon. No, thanks. He gets a free day, and you shouldn't be like threatening parents to bring them back. It was, I felt like it was just out of pocket. Like they should not have required that to happen.
Casey in the chat said the kindergarten needed a poop knife.
Do you know about the poop knife? Have you heard the story of the poop knife?
No, I have not. But Hellraiser, our pal Hellraiser, legend in the Howard Stern communities. For fuck's sake, he said, "Yeah,
Right.
this is ridiculous."
So they send this email saying that this is going to happen. I was like, "Nope, you're not going back. Don't take him back." And around 1 PM, I get the little, like you said, they have an app, right? The little app goes, "So and so was marked absent today," and I'm like, "The fuck he was." That's when I was pissed. Like you kind of,
you can fight this.
Passive aggressively threatened me that he was supposed to be back. And then you mark him absent after he was already there and you sent him home.
Yeah, you can definitely fight that easily.
He's again, and we had talked about this last night. It's not going to affect him long term. He doesn't miss a lot of days.
It's also setting a principle, no pun, that they can't just say due to an emergency situation you need to come and grab your children. Oh, we fixed it. Bring them all back for the last hour of the school day. No, because I don't know what your situation was at the time when you left with your kid, but other people are leaving work and then either have to cut out of work early because they have their kid now, or had to bring the kid to work, or probably don't even live near the school where their work is. And it's like, I drove 45 minutes here to pick up my kid, 45 minutes back, and now you're telling me to bring the kid back. That ain't happening. He'll be back tomorrow. All right, well, he's marked absent. Like hell he is. You can fight that easily, or find a friend that, if you have a friend that's works at a law office or something, it's like, could you just put something on letterhead and just send this email to the school? You'll see that drop really quick. They're not going to entertain that.
Yeah. So this was the end of the email. Despite the delay, the remainder of the school day will proceed as normal, and we look forward to welcoming all students back at the campus at 10 a.m. Well, no. Although we anticipate a small measure of varied attendance today, our expectation is that students are in school learning despite the interruption this morning. Thank you again for your understanding. No.
The power's out. It's 135 degrees.
They've done that.
But we expect our kids to, still stay in school and learn.
Like the fact that the toilets are backed up and you don't have your poop knife. That's our equivalent of a snow day here in Arizona.
That might be the show title. You know about the poop knife.
Do you know about the poop knife?
Writing it down.
We'll have to find the video and we'll play it on another day. But there was a like a Reddit post or something like that, and it basically was a guy who was like, "Hey, how come no one ever really kind of told me that nobody else knew about a poop knife?" And he was like, apparently that was like a family thing where it's like, you clog the toilet, you got to cut that stuff up. There's a poop knife. It's hilarious.
I don't live within a family of uncivilized people that this needed to be addressed whatsoever.
See, look.
If the bathrooms were occupied, you went outside and peed in the back like a real person.
Right.
Bartholomew in the chat. Did you bring this? I didn't touch that. All right,
I did.
Eric does need to learn about the poof knife. So I see you played knifey poopy before. No, we don't.
That's not a knife.
That's
a poop knife.
Casey in the chat saying in Oregon, we got sent home all the time for emergency weather stuff, and the day was just canceled. Yeah, if you're in those problematic areas of the country where it can just be tornado warnings at the drop of a dime, it's like, kids are walking between periods there. Oh no, the sirens are going off.
Right.
Yeah, duck and cover and then come pick up your kids. We're not completing the rest of the day. Well, the water wasn't working. We got a Roto-Rooter to come over and clean all this out. School's on. Game on, everybody. Nope, sorry, not coming back. I already spent his lunch money. Sorry,
we
not
already ate his
happening.
lunch on the way home.
Yeah,
the way his schedule is like I said, it's modified. So he's on earlier. He leaves at noon. They also have full day kids, and then they also have what's called PM kids, and they come in a little bit later, around 10 o'clock. It really sucked for the kids that got there on time and had to be sent home. So as far as I'm concerned, those kids get a day.
Right.
Every other kid was coming in at 10 o'clock anyway. They can come in, but to mark my kid absent after he was there, ready to go, and it was, emergencies happen,
right.
But this is your fuck up.
So dumb.
Do not. So yes, I've been working on a nice worded email to the superintendent. I'll be replying back to his email, and keep you informed and see.
You've already lost the audience, Jordan. They're all in the chats are talking about the poop knife.
The poop
now.
knife.
Crack the Web's saying it's similar to the piss sock. Not that much of a stretch. That was one of the grossest stories I ever heard on our show. And Norton's had a lot of gross and disturbing stories. This was a story that Opie openly admitted. He wipes piss off the toilet seat if he goes to the bathroom with his sock that he's wearing and continues wearing the sock. Now you could say, "Oh, he was probably saying it for comedic effect for the radio." One, there's no comedy coming from him, but two, that story is real. Yeah. It's real. I've talked to family members of his, and they've confirmed that it is a real thing. That is fucking gross. He was so gross all the time. He had just gross tendencies. But that piss sock thing resonated with me in a way that it's like you sit there. It's like when Bart would think about like Aunt Selma's unshaven legs, and he would just go that shiver that goes up your spine that just cuts off every other sense that you have, and that's what it focuses on.
Like the idea of it. That just sounds gross.
It was fucking gross. There was somebody sent me a thing about Opie. Where was it? Right here. Derek Andrews, off topic, but do you believe the rumors that Opie has been moonlighting as a goth emo at night and forgets to wipe off the black lipstick before his morning show?
His lips do have that weird color.
I know you've been checking, or you used to. I don't know if you do anymore about the Dabbleverse stuff around Stuttering John. We used to talk about that. So John went away for a while, and the speculation is that it's caused so much of a problem with his family, and that his mom pays for everything that she had to put her foot down, and he's not allowed to be on line doing this shit anymore. So he had to step back. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it's just funny that a guy who collects Social Security and is pretty much useless to any kind of functioning society has his mom paying for everything, and he can't do anything without her consent. So they've been focusing on other people, other shows. Mm-hmm. One of them was what Carl does with WATP, was Opie. Now other shows are apparently checking out Opie and his mentally deranged live streams in the morning.
Yeah.
It's been speculation for a while that Opie has something wrong because his lips are purple.
Yeah, I think some of the growing theories out there is that he's just drinking too much wine, maybe?
Well, from the clips I've been seeing on Carl's show, that drives him crazy to no end when they keep insinuating that he's an alcoholic, that he's got a drinking problem. You're drinking so much. I speculated that because he used to eat terrible oatmeal all the time, and he would sprinkle stuff on his oatmeal, either blueberries as he would call it, or he had bags of maple sugar, brown sugar that he would sprinkle on there. I'm thinking he's just, he's taking a page from the book of Erik, and he's just sprinkling powdered grape Kool-Aid onto his oatmeal now, and he's just eating it that way, so the dye's getting all over. Who knows? That's my speculation. Everyone else thinks he's drinking. Some people say it's a medical issue. This guy thinks he's going out emo dancing or whatever. Maybe it's like Batman. You know how he used to have to color his eyes and his mouth so when the cowl would come down, it would still it didn't cover those parts. Maybe he's going out there and he's a superhero fighting crime on the Upper West Side of Manhattan because he saw Daredevil. He's like, oh, I could do that. He's not doing anything else, but I don't know. He's walking around in piss socks and purple lips, and he's all
piss
disheveled.
Socks and poop knives. That's the show title.
He still looks like Poop Deck Pappy. I don't even call him Opie anymore. He's Greg Pappy Hughes to me now.
That's pretty funny.
But if even that. Oh, people were talking about his piss socks in the Casey's. So ew, Hellraiser saying, why not use toilet paper? I know, right? Or
because he doesn't wear toilet paper.
You have kids. You have kids. Jordan, you have kids. Everybody has kids.
Yeah, I use
in
kids.
A bathroom, if you don't, you have toilet paper, but you also have wipes in there. Depending on their age, you've got those disposable, flushable wipes. Use those. Worst case scenario, grab a hand towel or something. Throw it on the floor.
Socks.
Yeah, if you piss on, if you're visiting somebody, if you're visiting somebody and you piss on their toilet seat, if they got a hamper in there, take one of their old dirty clothes out, wipe it out, and throw it back in the hamper. It's something like that.
Oh my God! What it just
don't wear it.
Yeah, right. These are the fancy hand towels. Yeah, well,
you psychopath. Tom saying,
that's just such a weird.
Well, you already hate feet, so a piss sock is almost related. No, it's
that's gross.
I get it, but it's just a different level of disgusting and disturbing in a way. Casey's saying, right? I feel like there's a lot of other more hygienic options than the socks that you're wearing.
Just disgusting.
Crack the web saying he doesn't see that his mouth is purple every morning, so it's incredibly baffling. He does. He knows. He purposely he sits back. He's not focused on the camera, so it de-ages you a little bit because, you know, with a high definition camera can show everything, but you look great and whatever. You can fix your lighting. You can do all these things there. If you don't have that kind of equipment, they lean back. And then they put on that some of these programs have a box you can check, and then it
smooths you out.
It's like an AI thing. Yeah, exactly. It's like an AI thing.
Right.
When like with Photoshop and stuff, when they're cleaning blemishes or things like that, you hit this thing and it removes the. You know how all that goes. So they have all that. I just realized the lights are the wrong color behind me. I'll fix that. But he purposely sits outside of the light. He sits with the camera facing the natural light behind him. No diffuser gels or anything on the glass, so it automatically darkens what's in front. He does it on purpose. He knows what he's doing. I mean, he is a dum-dum, but he knows what he's doing with this thing here. He knows damn well that his lips are purple. I don't know what it's from. I just think he sprinkles grape Kool-Aid on his oatmeal, and I'm going to go with that.
That's the best one.
Maybe it's a shadow, the only thing that shows up on his lips. I don't know. I don't know. But it became a very hot talking point about dealing, people are now focusing on Opie. And I got to say, in a small, small way, it makes me feel great.
It is pretty
because I always have to clarify this. Very appreciative of the opportunities that him and Anthony gave me, being a part of that show, all of that stuff. But there were a lot of low moves that he pulled involving stuff on the air, cheap shots, bits, things like that, because it all deflected off of him and was all on me. Now that this is happening to him, some of it might be too much. I get that. But the whole karmatic situation, it's wonderful because you sit there and he's going crazy. He goes, people are just making stuff up. People are just going, yeah, that's what this shit is. Not the shows that we're doing. We're not supposed to be making stuff up and all that kind of stuff. But the people in the audience in his chat room are baiting him.
Oh yeah,
and he's falling for it all the time. He's starting to be a bit more self-aware about it now on the last episode of Carl's show that I saw. But it's a pleasure to watch and see all of this stuff that he's getting some comeuppance, if you will. Tom from Alberta, Opie is reliving childhood trauma and sucking eggplants. All right, we don't know that. That's anyway. Speculation. Casey saying, or how about you don't get piss everywhere, right? Right. Can't you men aim? Yes. Civilized men. You do get splashback. That happens. Just because of the throttle. But past that point, you should have steady aim. So you do get a little splashback. It happens. You have to clean that up like a civilized gentleman.
Some people have a lot of pressure. Rob and I hear Erik do it pretty much every night.
Yeah.
He claims he's filling up his water bottle. We know better.
He should get a ring light that makes his lips pink and problem solved. That is possible, too. He could get better lighting. He could get some diffuser. He's got an amazing view behind him. Spend a little money. Talk to the right people. Go to B&H, the electronic store that knows and sells everything. Get some of that gel that they put on the glass to treat the glass. You can still see through it. It's just tinted so that the light outside lights up the room but doesn't fuck up the cameras and everything else that you're doing inside. There's so many TV shows that are shot street level or just above street level in New York City that you can go and look. The Today Show, the most famous one in Rockefeller Center. You can walk behind the glass of all those shows. You can see there. CNN, Fox, all have street level stuff. ABC's Good Morning America, right in the heart of Times Square. CNN has some stuff. CBS, I don't remember where CBS's thing is, but there's enough TV productions in New York City where you can go and get an idea of what they do.
Right. So yes, that was my childhood fun stuff today. Actually, yesterday. You had told me about something that happened to you today.
Thank you. Let's get away from
that's I'm trying to pivot from him a little bit.
Grape lips. Yeah.
Let me know how your ice cream adventure went, because that was
this was weird.
Cringy in a different way.
This was weird. It was obviously a generational thing. So I picked up the kid from school. She wanted to get ice cream. She wanted Carvel. So I was like, all right, it's a rare treat because I don't usually get to pick her up from school. So I said, okay, we went to Carvel, got a little kid's cup of ice cream, and she picks her toppings. You know, it's a whole experience for a little kid. They love all that. They pick the ice cream, they pick toppings, they do all of these things. We sit down. They have the old-fashioned counters, you know, with the circle seat that rotates. Put her up there. She's eating her ice cream. Counter next to us, a guy sits down with his kid, a little boy, and it looks like they got the same ice cream flavor. And she looked over and she goes, "You got the same ice cream." And I said, "Oh, that's pretty cool." That's about as far as my interest in that conversation was going, because I was about to go look back down at my phone, where all of a sudden I hear, "Hey." So I go and I look up, and it's the father of this guy. And he starts doing this, right? He starts going, he's pointing towards my kid and his kid going like, wait, let me get in the camera, like this. And he's going, "Winning." And I sat there and looked at him for a beat, and I went, "Yeah." And then went right back to my phone. That was bizarre.
I don't think I've ever had an interaction like that between the two kids. No other father, no other like parent has ever been like, doing it right. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, was this like an older guy? Was this like
no? He was young.
Like,
I would say somewhere mid-30s, right? And had he said something, and it's like, you know, dad's job, or something about, you know, a dad thing and like that, but like, yeah, you know, that I get. The pointing back and forth and going, "Winning," and looking at me like, right, we're winning. Like, yeah. And then went right back to the phone.
That.
Didn't acknowledge that they were there the rest of the time. I sat there. I'm like, that was just such a weird interaction.
It reminded, when you sent me the text this morning, this afternoon, I was like, that is really weird. And it almost immediately reminded me. Have you seen those commercials? I can't remember if it's for like an insurance company or a home, whatever, of the guy teaching these people not to be their parents. And like the latest one I saw was like,
that's an insurance
the gas station
commercial
guy,
or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like he's standing at the gas station. And it's like, you don't have to talk to everybody that's at the gas pumps. And it's that kind of situation. That is what this reminded me of. It's like, it's something like someone's dad would do, like a grandpa or something, be like, "Hey, you know, these are the moments, right?" You know, those kinds of things.
Even if it was that, if he said, it's like, like, "This is the best times," right? Yeah. I would have been very friendly. Like, yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I get it. You know, dads have those.
Just last night, you and I were talking about stuff, and we were talking about like making memories and, you know, things like that with your kid, and how like they remember just even these little moments, like what you had today.
Yeah.
Acknowledging that in a more coherent way would have been nice, but like Bartholomew was saying, you know, it felt like a very Charlie Sheen.
If it was Charlie Sheen, I wouldn't have felt as awkward. I would have been like, "Yeah, man, winning," like, because that makes sense. He's the guy that pretty much brought that into the lexicon of all of this stuff.
But just to do the,
I've had conversations with other moms, other dads. at the playground, at the school pickups, at school events, whatever, and they talk about the kids and stuff like that. The small talk, whatever.
Yeah, which one's yours?
Fine.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, it's like they told me to pick one. After the water incident last week.
My friend got one at his school for like real cheap.
This is the one we adopted. Well, we already touched this kid. No, I don't want to say that. We already handled this kid. No, don't want to say that either. The point I was trying to make, it was trying to make a bird joke. We already touched the kid. The mom didn't want it back, so now we're stuck with this kid. You have those conversations, and I'm sure, like, as they get older and go into activities or music or whatever they want to do, parents have that interaction with their kids because they're all doing the same thing, right? Pointing back and forth and going, winning was one of those moments, like, you see that shit online and you go, that was not happening in real life. And then it does.
Then it happens to you.
And you go, what do I do? I can't be, I don't want to be a dick to the guy, but it just was so uncomfortable. Like, he did nothing wrong. There was no reason to
winning. You're like, make a wish. She wanted to meet the producer of Opie and Anthony.
No, but I just was like, I looked at him and went, yeah. And then went right back to my phone. Whoa, I don't know.
It just feels very awkward. Like he wanted to say something or be a part of things, but didn't know how to really do it.
Yeah. So dumb. All right.
I forget. What did we figure out? Was this a Nighter Skirt? Knitter Skitter?
No, Intersect was his name.
Intersect. There we go.
I didn't know. I didn't see it on the screen at first. I was like, "What are you talking about?" Oh, that guy.
Yeah. He goes, like an alien trying to blend in by acting with, "Hello, fellow father figure. Isn't this parenting?"
Yeah.
That's exactly what that feels like. Like he just doesn't know how to.
It was a very Opie move. Human. It was an Opieism. Huh?
An opioid.
Winning, fellow kids? It's like, what? No. Stop.
Like, I don't know how to talk around children. Yeah, it's just very weird.
Yeah.
Like, you're right. The interaction is weird based off what he said. Like, I wouldn't have minded if someone said something or, been like, interact with me. I'm not off-putting enough where I don't want it. I don't reach out myself. I'm not going to insert myself into a conversation, but for the most part, like if someone talks to me, especially kids wise and things like that, especially like, when you do volleyball, you're around a lot of other parents. And, last weekend, someone came up and complimented my daughter on how she was playing. It was very nice, very good interaction. No big deal. Everyone went their separate ways. What this guy did to you is just weird, just very odd.
Yeah.
In how he approached it. Like, do you think he's at home kicking himself going, God, could have said something better?
I think he had zero. I think he just thought is like, I parented today. I was adulting. He seems like that kind of person. I
really enjoyed that court-ordered ice cream time with little Susie.
Yeah. I can't wait to... I'm probably going to run into this guy again somewhere in town. Yeah. And I'll be like, oh, that's the pointing finger guy. That's the winning guy.
Yeah. But then you have to do it back to him. Like, no matter what's happening. Like, no matter what you guys... Like, if you run into him, like, at a store...
Go fuck yourself?
Winning. He's getting arrested. Turns out it wasn't his kid. He was getting out. He was in cuffs.
They're holding his head so he doesn't bang it as they're putting him in the back of the car.
Winning.
Tried to get that out before I coughed.
There you go.
Didn't work.
No, very, very... I don't have the weirdest interactions like you do. It's so funny. Like, you just live in this weird pocket where you're seeing fights at Walmart. You've got random people going winning. Every week is such a new adventure for me and you.
I know.
So it's fun.
We'd have so much less show material if my life was just very humdrum and nothing was going on.
Yeah, I always feel bad that I just lead a normal existence, but you always just fill that gap with the weirdest interactions.
You are the calming.
I can't wait till you go to Thunderbolts this weekend, by the way.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to some other things here. I want to talk about this real quick because it was trending over the weekend. It was so dumb. So the whole thing about 100 men versus a gorilla was trending over the weekend.
Sheesh.
Now, the thing that got everybody all about it was because of Mr. Beast.
Right.
And he had this thing, like at the time I took this, 50 million views on this thing.
Jesus.
So this conversation was coming out, 100 men versus a gorilla. And he said, Mr. Beast does a lot of promotional stunts.
Sure.
And very extravagant production pieces for videos. But a lot of it goes...
about it on Amazon.
A lot of it ties into charitable work, right? Or he's just one of those multimillionaires that has fun with what he does. So this got everybody talking because he posted about it, but it wasn't even him. That wasn't the original posting. He was responding that it was starting to creep up a little bit because this guy posted it, and it's a guy named Dream Chasing Mike on the X platform. And he said, I think 100 ninjas could beat one gorilla. Everybody just got to be dedicated to this shit. All right. 278 million views at the time that I took the screen cap of this. So that was going around. Mr. Beast posted his thing here.
Yeah, it was just his response.
Goes all over the place. So much
this
so.
This isn't like something that is new. Like there's always a scenario growing up or while you're hanging with your friends.
This is pot talk.
This is literally you sitting around, you're eating shit,
pot
and
talk,
you're discussing.
Drunk talk.
I bet I can fight 15 kindergartners at a time. Like I could.
One
take
of the
on
most famous
kids.
Ron and Fez bits was It was Ron figuring out how many 9-year-olds he could beat up.
Right. Like these are things that we think about constantly.
Screw the gorilla. Go look for the Ron and Fez bit where Ron's talking about how many 9-year-olds he could beat up, and then talk to Fez, and then was seeing how Fez would fare against all these 9-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Same concept. It's just bored, pot, drunk talk, whatever, Yeah. So this blew up. People, because it just shows how dumb people are, that they fall for anything, or they just go with whatever's going on there. Like, oh, it's trending, so it's fine. It's like, doesn't mean it's okay to go and do this stuff just because it's trending. It just shows you that you're a simpleton and an empty vessel that can't come up with your own stuff or do things on your own. So this thing blows up even more because Mr. Beast posted his thing. I'll put that back up on the screen there. Why is it not going up? There it is. He's like, should anybody want to test this? Any volunteers, right? PETA shows up with an official statement condemning Mr. Beast and this whole concept. That fucking shit organization, under the guise of they're trying to do right by animals, whatever, and they're horrible. They're a horrible organization. So, PETA called out YouTube content creator Mr. Beast on social media after he weighed in on the viral 100 men versus gorilla debate. Over the weekend, the debate on social media, could 100 men beat up a gorilla in a hypothetical fight? The discourse has swept the internet following a post from social media. We talked about Dream Chase and Mike. These are all the breakdowns of everything, what to know. So Mr. Beast posted, need to test this, 100 men versus gorilla, what have you. PETA then took offense to this to try to get their name involved with all of this.
It's such a ridiculous thing.
So they put out a response directed at Mr. Beast saying, try 100 reasons to leave animals out of your content. Fuck off, you self-righteous cunts. And I don't use that word often, but fuck that organization. They've never done anything good. It's all under the guise that they're helping the earth and they're helping the animal. They're not. There's countless documentaries and news reports about all this fucking, shenanigans and misappropriation of funds and the tactics that they do. They result to terrorist tactics where they go and they damage kennels and farms and all that stuff. Now, granted, some of these places are probably doing the things the wrong way. Some of those farms where they pretty much like
puppy mills.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You get it, but you don't go there and burn the whole fucking place down, and then they wound up killing half the animals that were in there because they're, of their righteousness. So he put out there, and it's like, try leaving animals out of your content. He's done a lot of animal-based content where he set up a kennel out of nowhere, a makeshift thing, and you just put ads out in some area, and what people didn't know is when they came in, if they wanted to adopt a dog, they surprised the people who were going to adopt the dog, and he gave them checks from like a dog food company that covered their food for a year. They gave them insurance policies for the animals that would take care of them for the next few years, stuff like that. Like Dave Bautista was even involved in this because he's big with animal charities and stuff.
Oh yeah, he adopts dogs constantly.
Yes, it's content, but it's the right kind of content because those dogs all got homes and they were all taken care of, and he partnered with the right brands and the right companies to do all of this stuff. He's done things like this before.
And his content, for the most part, 80% is this stupid, schlocky, dumb shit, and then the other 20% is like he's building wells in Kenya, giving eyesight to people, and paying for surgeries. Like, he's doing things with his money that I would do with a lot of money. Do some good shit, do some dumb shit. Mm-hmm. That's just how everybody should be living their lives. And it's just he's just so popular that they're blowing some things more out of proportion.
They're marrying themselves to a subject that doesn't mean anything. This is he's like, hey, do you want to test it out? He's not going to, well, although he might go and do it because he's got the means to make that happen.
I hope he does.
But that might be legal in Australia or one of those places. Not going to fly here or in Europe, but they're marrying themselves to this thing with their outrage. It's like, go fuck yourselves. And I see in the chat here, people are pissed at PETA. Intersect saying, remember when PETA killed all those dogs? Hellraiser said, have you read about the disastrous Mr. Beast event in Las Vegas that happened 2 weeks ago? I don't understand how this guy's... What happened 2 weeks ago?
So they were doing what was being called an unforgettable Las Vegas experience, that was sponsored in part by Mr. Beast. It was a 3-day event at Resorts World. It was supposed to be like immersive and unforgettable experience. Remember that thing that happened in England when they were doing like the Willy Wonka
thing?
Yeah, that we talked about. Think of something like that. Tickets cost like $1,000. There was a hotel package, mystery bag with merchandise, potential $10,000 gift voucher. It was supposed to be like you're part of the Mr. Beast world where everything was just, game showy.
Right.
Chaos, basically, people would check in. They were instructed to wait in their rooms for a surprise gift. And they waited for like 2 days and nothing ever came. Like, people would just wait in their rooms for like 2 days and nothing would come. And then when it would come, it was like a box of chocolates. People get like mystery bags, and they were clearance items from the Mr. Beast store. Like, they were trying to get rid of old crap. It was bad. It was not a good promotion.
Wow, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So not a good look. In fact, it was so bad that they actually took the event off the Resorts World website. They were like, ooh, we got to get this out of here. So they got rid of that. There were people complaining and pissed.
So this was like his Fire Festival.
Kinda, yeah. Or like I said, that Willy Wonka bit where they were like, yeah, it looks like Willy Wonka on meth.
Well, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. He'll go fight a gorilla now.
Might as well.
And we're back in he's back in our good graces because of it.
Wrapping this up, Casey saying PETA doesn't care about adopting dogs. They think people shouldn't own animals, and they'd rather see animals dead than exploited.
Yeah.
Garbage organization.
They're terrible.
Garbage.
They get mad about dumb stuff. Like, they got mad years ago when Assassin's Creed did Black Flag, and that was like, you're a pirate, you're going around, and true to the time, you're hunting whales, and they were mad that you were hunting digital whales. Like, they made such a stink about it. I'm like, there are other things you could be pissed off about. Let me go beat Shamu up and be a pirate.
If they're smart, they'll add that to GTA 6.
Oh, that'd be great.
If you got the boat and you're just slamming into manatees.
Slamming into whales.
Yeah. All kinds
of it's in Florida.
Yeah. Severing off the horns of narwhals, like with the boats. They go flying like that clip we're going to watch later of that speedboat going too fast, flipping all over. All right, moving on. Katy Perry.
Famed astronaut.
This ditzy bitch can't keep her name out of the news.
Oh God! This like
after forcing it in for we go back several weeks when they went on the carnival ride, Blue Origin, to go into low orbit for 10 minutes and then land, and they all think that they are official astronauts, that they went through training and all of that stuff, right? So that all happened. We discussed that. You can watch the videos on the YouTube channel. Then we found out like a week later, because of course porn has to find a way into anything that's trending. Those two porn stars that got a lot of notoriety for fucking like 1,000 guys in a day or 12 hours. It was something ridiculous, right? Where the one of them, remember, was crying because I guess she did like the 500 or something first.
Yeah, and then immediately like regretted it. And
there was
felt bad
videos, clips that she was crying and she's like, I don't know why I do this to myself, whatever. And then went right into the 1,000 with the other girl.
Yep.
Still doing other things because her shit shows up online on Twitter, but it's not like algorithm stuff where if you look at certain topics or whatever, other accounts that talk about those topics start showing up in your algorithm, right?
Right.
This is getting there's discussion about it, like from TMZ is talking about these two. Other like smaller news organizations, Daily Mail, things like that, all have stories about that. So this is showing up in news feeds and other people responding. So they were looking and petitioning to try to figure out a way to shoot a porn scene on the Blue Origin flight and have the first porn scene in space.
Now, do you honestly think Blue Origin would be wanting to associate with this? Like, I can see like...
No, I know this was all a PR thing, but this wouldn't even been the concept if it hadn't been for the stupid Katy Perry experience,
right?
Going up into space, and then it's like, oh, if you have the right amount of money, you can go into space now. Some porn company will put together $20 million.
Oh, it'll be done in a day.
Yeah, to send some stars up there to go film a scene and then be done with it and forever be known as the porn shot in space. You know, it'll be up there with the legendary films of like Debbie Does Dallas, Behind the Green Door, that Pirates porn that they spent like $5 million on or something ridiculous in the 2000s. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of those stars on O&A for that stupid movie. Anyway, so back to Katy Perry. She used the flight to promote her tour and showed her set list. And Dum Dum did it with a cutout butterfly or moth or whatever it was.
Yeah.
With the track listing
that no one could read.
In the dark of space, you couldn't read it, you couldn't make anything out, and she used it as a promotional thing for her tour. So the tour just started recently in Mexico.
Yeah.
Down old Mexico City. And some of the clips coming out from people in the audience, this lady is oblivious to the real world.
It's sad.
And she's been so out of any kind of reality for so long. She has all yes men around her. Mm-hmm. Nobody tells her no or said, hey, this isn't a good idea, or maybe we shouldn't do this kind of stuff. Nobody says no to her.
Spend more than $5 on this tour.
Right. So nobody says to her, let's not do this, or I don't think this is a good idea, or this is going to look bad. Well, I got a bunch of clips to show you, but I also want to start off before the clips saying that the ticket sales are not doing well for this tour at all.
I saw an overhead shot, I think, of one of the last shows she did the other day, and they were like, who told her to do this in a stadium? You can see her performing and then just giant chunks of no people in the seats. Like, there was nothing. Like, you have your, like, everyone's got the little boxed in area where you can get like, oh, I'm in front and you know, standing room only. But then you do the wider shot and it's just emptiness.
Her stage,
it was bad.
Right? She's got a stage area. And then in front of the stage is a giant figure eight, a black illuminated figure eight. Mm-hmm. And it looks like slot car racing. You remember slot car racing?
Mm-hmm.
I know younger people won't, but if you were a kid of the I don't know if the 60s had 70s and 80s at least had
70s and 80s at least, yeah.
It was a closed circuit track powered by a model battery, and you put your cars that had electric connections, and you'd hold a trigger to adjust the intensity of how fast or slow your car goes, and it would just zoom around in a figure eight. Or if you had the NASCAR kind of
it
track,
was banked,
yeah, just to go, and then it would eventually momentum would catch up. Yep. And flip your cars, or you crash into another car and flip them right off the track.
I must have been hit by those slot car racers no less than 20 times growing up. Because those things, if you get them fast enough and you're just holding down that thing, you're right. Momentum finally hits it, comes right off the track, and boom, right in your face. Like, it is. Those things are dangerous. I love them.
Our pal Big Red Towers in the chat saying, he's like, look, all I'm saying is those parachutes should have failed.
Yeah.
World would have been a better place. I don't know. I can't say that. That's really terrible.
Yeah, we all need guilt.
She should have just not went on the thing, or just kept her mouth shut the entire time. Casey saying is laughing, saying there's a law called Perry Law because of her predator real estate purchases from old people. Really?
Did you know? Okay, so this one's a big one. I'll try to go through it quick.
Okay.
Back a couple years ago, probably 10 years, 15, whatever. There was a house purchased by a bunch of nuns back in like the 70s, back in LA, very cheap real estate at the time. So they bought this nice piece of land and a house. Well, because they are nuns, it belongs to the archdiocese and the Catholic Church.
Uh-huh.
Fast forward to a couple years ago, Katy Perry wants to buy the house from those nuns, and the nuns are selling, but they don't want to sell to Katy Perry. She offers like $15 million. Another person comes in for $17 million, says, yep, I want to go ahead and buy that house. They said, okay, we'll sell to you. The archdiocese said we were going to sell to Katy Perry. It becomes a whole thing. Katy Perry sues the nuns and takes them to court. In court, while on the stand, one of the nuns goes, Katy Perry, please just leave us alone, and has a heart attack and drops dead in court.
Wow.
Fast forward a couple more years, another gentleman selling a house. She wants to buy that house from him. Older gentleman, probably in his 70s.
How many houses does she need?
Apparently a lot. He just had like back surgery or something like that, was on a ton of pain meds, regrets his decision. A couple days later says, hey, I don't want to do this, tries to back out of the deal. She sues him. She sues another old person to get his property. I think she ends up winning in court. So the government has to step in now and created the Perry Law, which says if you're over a certain age and you're selling a house, you have now 72 hours or 96 hours, something like that, to take away that decision to sell that house for these reasons. And because of her, they've created a law that you can't prey on old people in real estate. It's hilarious. She's a fucking garbage monster.
Is it a national law or is it just California?
Nope. I think it's national.
Wow, I had no idea about this.
Uh-huh.
All right,
Yeah,
so she is pretty
worst.
terrible. Got it. Okay. Sorry, I was writing down the parachute.
Yeah, the
Should've
law is
failed
named the
as a
Perry
show
Act.
title.
The acronym is Protecting Elderly Realty for Retirement Years Act, and is according to now defunct website. It's establishing a 72-hour cool-down period during which either party involved in a contract or for conveyance of a personal residence in which one party is over the age of 75. So, yeah, because Katy Perry wants to sue old people to take their houses, they had to come up with a law preventing people of a certain age from being in trouble for that kind of stuff. She is just a horrible person.
She's a monster. Big Red Tower saying she already had 400 million when she was doing that too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. Well,
anyway.
All right. So
back
she's
to
gonna,
her astronaut career.
Right. She's got what she's going to get what she's got coming to her from all of this. Right. So we're going into all of this stuff, and we saw how crazy she was during and after the Blue Origin thing. Then she went into hiding for a little bit off social media, whatever. Because reports were coming out that she was having breakdowns for how everybody was treating her on social media now because of all of this. Now, of course, people take it too far. They're going after her kid and things like that. But rightfully so, I'd say she's open to all criticism for her theatrics with the Blue Origin scenario. Oh, I was singing. What was the song she was singing? What a Wonderful World.
It's a Wonderful World.
Yeah, that, and then she's talking about God. She kissed the ground when she got home, and all, like she's open and rightfully so to be a
more
target,
connected to love,
right? For all of that. My pal, former head writer of Late Show with David Letterman, former executive producer of Late Show with David Letterman, former executive producer of the Harry Connick Jr. talk show. It went 5 years. Former
really 5 years?
Writer of The Tick in the 90s, the animated show. He wrote those. He wrote on those episodes.
Spoon.
Justin Stangl had this, and I'm using this as the cause and effect to everything else that happened since then. He tweeted out, I'm starting a conspiracy right now. The Katy Perry who came back from space is not the same Katy Perry who went up there. Prove me wrong. Hashtag where's the real Katy Perry? He followed it up like a couple days later. The evidence is mounting. The Katy Perry who came back from space is not the same Katy Perry who went up. We demand the truth. Open your eyes, people. And that first one was the day they came home. The day that thing landed, he posted that stuff. Now, since then, so many other people have posted that same thing too. It's like, what happened to her when she went in there? And that is already, I can debunk, because you saw how crazy she was before she went up there.
Right.
Right? So.
Yeah, it's not like she went up and she was like this saint of a person, comes back and is just acting like a crazy person. Like was crazy before that.
Yeah. So her tour starts. Her tour's not selling well. It's not selling poorly, but it's not selling well. It's not selling anywhere near the levels they need to do, because there is an enormous amount of production going on with this thing. Enormous amount of theatrics, stage show, costumes. People, if you're in stadiums, they have rigs up there because people are on cables flying through the air. And they got to travel with this stuff. So it's a very costly tour, and it's not close or projected to be making the money back that they need to cover a lot of this, at least not right now. The tour just started. I believe it's in Central America right now, and I guess it's going down to South America or before it comes up to North. I don't know, but it started in Mexico and it's working its way down there. Clips started coming out from people and you're watching this and you're going, she's lost it. Now she's had other instances too, like you saw how deranged she was when they brought back American Idol. You saw clips from there. She's out of her mind.
She was crying like constantly. She was crying more than the doctor did.
She did a live stream several years ago from like a house. Like she had some kind of live stream from her whole house was set up with cameras, like a Big Brother kind of scenario, where you got to watch her sleep for it was like a whole weekend thing. You saw
like
her
Jenny Cam from the 90s.
Yeah, something like that. There was even things too. She went to get, they were giving a massage or whatever, and they moved the towel, and you just saw like right up her crotch and everything because of the camera angle. They forgot to switch off. It's out there. You can find it. There was that other thing too. Remember where she was standing in a pose and her eye wasn't like functioning the right way?
Like her eye got stuck.
And they were claiming, it was the eyelash glue that was preventing her from opening her eye and whatever. And it's like, no, it wasn't. She was malfunctioning.
I was gonna say that little alien inside her, like in Men in Black, couldn't get the thing to work, or so her eye was shutting.
I was thinking more of a fembot.
Ooh, fembot works, yeah.
So like the fembot was malfunctioning. So I have 3 different packages here for us. This is just stuff from the tour. I think I took the audio out of it. Maybe I didn't, but let's take a look at this here.
Oh, God, yeah.
Look at this.
Like, you don't even have to see the music. Just the choreography of this is terrible.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
It's the robot is malfunctioning. That's what this is. So then she's running in place doing this twerk. Like she's doing the if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands kind of style dancing. And now she doesn't know what to do. She's doing some pelvic thrusts.
Hands. Take me away.
She's jumping up and down. She lays on the floor. Look at this. I paused it. But she sat there. She's on the ground Her legs spread open, one leg like held up in the air, the other one kind of bent backwards.
Yeah.
It's right up her crotch again. And she just sat there and looked out into the audience like, huh? It's like when a kid's not getting attention because there's too many adults at the function. And they're just doing whatever they're doing and decide to get you to notice. And look at me, look at my dancing. That's what she's doing.
You gave her too much sugar and she's just dancing around the living room.
Right. All right, I'm going to move it back a little bit here. Watch how long she drops to the floor here. So right before she does, she grabbed two hands of the dancers next to her. And they were lifting her up like you think they're going to hold her up or something, right? She just jumps up and down. She jumps up, lands down, lets go of their hands, and then falls on the ground and does some kind of attempt to maybe try to break dance. Look how long she's on the floor. Look at this. Still on the floor.
Her dancing.
She's now singing on the floor. Her legs still in the air, showing her hoo-ha to Mexico. Now this is a different scene. She's in what's supposed to be like these sexy see-through outfits, but you can see she's wearing the body stockings with it here. One hand pelvic thrust push-ups to the ground while she's singing. How does this add to the performance?
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
It's like the awkward girl's like, I'm sexual. I'm hot, right? I can do sexy moves and things. Look at all this. All right,
there seems to be a trend in the chat right now
of.
So Katie, not Katie, but Casey in the chat goes, she's Stuart from Mad TV. Remember that character?
I don't.
Goes, look what I could do.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then he starts dancing. But then Intersect also says, Eric, when you cut this into a clip, just put footage of Stuart from Mad TV over the videos you're talking about, and it will still work. Seems to be the vibe she's giving is Stuart from Mad TV.
So she's malfunctioning. Now, when she stands up with the sexy outfit that's over the body stocking, it's not like she's wearing it down to her legs, because you've seen that before from pop artists and stuff, where it's supposed to give, like, from a distance looks like their ass is hanging out or, showing a lot of leg. The female wrestlers, WWE, a lot of times they have like a skin tone colored body stocking under their outfits so that if it prevents malfunctions and what have you. They don't run it through the whole body. It's cut off just south of her crotch, and it looks like she's wearing Spanx.
Yeah.
This looks terrible. Look at that. And
it's such an odd color too. It doesn't even like match her color to give that illusion that nothing's there.
Right.
It's clearly like a darker tone.
And it's like when it's too tight so that the excess baggage on your skin folds over the side, so it makes her look fatter than she is.
Yeah, that's a rough look.
All right, so we keep going here. Now we're going to get to the running portions of her show, because she feels the need to run the 8-track. For some reason, like she's recreating a scene in Cars. Oh, yeah, that was the other thing, too.
Like, what is...
She doesn't know how to dance.
She doesn't.
Like
she doesn't know how to do anything normal. It's like, what do I do with my hands?
Right. So she's standing up. Awkward. She's singing a portion of the song. She's moving away. Now she's going to go walk onto the 8-track stage. She has no rhythm. She has no sense of timing.
She has no stage presence.
She looks like when a kid is trying to wear mommy's high heels for the first time. She's just kind of stumbling around. Now
I'm starting to think I can win this thing.
Look at this.
She's just taking these weird long gazelle. Like, is she trying to do the triple jump in high school?
Who knows? But she's just running the 8-track there. And look, here's a closer version. Look at her arms flailing.
Oh my God, her arms look terrible.
Like, the special ed kids when they're trying to, participate in the gym class with everybody else.
So awkward.
Go back to that.
I've not seen the running bit. That was bad. This I've seen, and this is even worse.
Yeah, look at this. But the arms are, they're not even swinging in a running motion, for momentum. They're just out there, and she's doing long glides like a gazelle. As she's running around. Yeah,
this is so bad.
Now this
is cringy.
She comes out in this futuristic, for some reason, every pop star has to go through some futuristic robot portion of their career. Christina Aguilera did it. Lady Gaga does it.
Well, and here's some backstory to this tour.
Yeah.
Apparently, there is a narrative going through the start of this tour to the end of the set, where she is in a video game world and she's trying to fight her way. So, like, the intermissions are boss battles, and this is another one of the little video gamey fight scenes that she's doing. None of it works, but that's what she says is supposed to be happening here.
Yeah, so she's in like her, Tron outfit. And
don't sully the good name of Tron with this.
And these creatures are coming after her. So she lights up a dual lightsaber, Darth Maul style. Right?
Right.
She's backing up. These things are doing high kicks and stuff with her. She's running away from them. As she's running away from those monsters coming, ninjas come out of the fall from the sky. And now she's fake pretending to fight the ninjas. She's not even near where the ninja is.
His hands are missing.
Right.
He cut his hands off.
Yeah, this one ninja grabs the lightsaber because I think that was a miscalculation.
Right.
Because now he's swinging around. He had to grab the lightsaber in order to center himself because he's hanging from cables from the top of a stadium. And then he just goes flying up for no reason.
He just gets yanked up into the air.
Yeah, because they know they fucked up. But you're looking at this.
So funny.
Look at this fight. It's like, I'm fighting the ninjas. What? That horde of aliens that were chasing her.
Yeah, who was chasing her?
They came to an abrupt stop to watch her fight the flying ninja. Like, where did the aliens go? They're gone. And then she's like, I've defeated the ninja. Now she's just going to walk away in another direction. None of this makes sense, right?
None of it makes sense.
Okay. Then a portion of the tour comes where she feels the need to be flying on some kind of giant moth or butterfly.
It's a butterfly, yeah. Her whole thing right now is butterflies. That's why she's got this.
Okay. Look at this. Just look at the money wasted on these Broadway theatrics here.
Money.
Look at this.
That's where all the money went. Okay, it's either a butterfly microphone or a personal massager.
Yeah. Butterfly in the sky. I can fly twice as high.
We should have played the Arnold version of that.
Oh, I could do that. Hold on.
Do you have that?
Yeah, I have it. Hold on.
So good.
Where is it? Here we go.
Butterfly in the sky.
It's perfect.
I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. Reading rainbow.
That's what's going on.
I can go anywhere. For rents to know and ways to grow. A reading rainbow. I can lift anything. Take a look. It's in a book. A reading rainbow. Reading rainbow. A reading rainbow. Reading rainbow. Reading rainbow.
Oh, that was perfect. Yes.
So she's just flying around on this giant butterfly thing over the stadium while she's singing, like, not even the full songs, a melody of her more famous songs.
Oh.
But this whole thing is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's bad.
All right.
So,
that all being said, right? That video goes on for another minute of her just flying around the stadium, and that was already a minute and a half. So all this is coming out. Everyone's going, she's lost her mind. She doesn't know how to dance. She's having meltdowns. She looks spastic and crazy.
Oh, so bad.
This brought to mind something that I remember she did about 4 years ago. She was doing a vacancy, not a vacancy, vacant. Is it vacancy when you're in Vegas? Residency. Vacant means empty. I'm dumb.
Well, you're half right.
Yes. The tour is on a vacancy.
The vacant residency that she's holding.
So she did some sort of residency stint in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I remember this. I'll go pull a clip. And I had footage that looks better than the clips that are going around social media right now. And then somebody else, I guess, apparently remembered it because the smaller version, the shittier version of this is trending all over the place, showing how just dumb this lady has been over time, but this is her, and I left the audio in here because you got to hear the discussion.
Yeah, this one's bad.
Of her singing to a poop coming out of a toilet. Oh shit, get it?
Yeah, get it? Because it's Mr. Hanky.
Right. With a piece of corn coming out of its mouth.
Why is it going to be a black guy?
Hold on 1 second. I need to clarify something like a colonic. Are you applauding for me? Or are you applauding for Poopette?
Poopette is the name of the singing piece of shit coming out of the toilet.
Why was that louder? I cannot believe it. I've done it again. I swore to myself I would never make the same mistake. Creating a puppet monster.
A puppet monster.
The last time I did it, it stole the Super Bowl.
The last time she created a puppet monster, it stole the Super Bowl performance.
You know, that wasn't a puppet though at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was a
man
guy in a
suit,
costume.
You fucking monster.
Yeah.
This is how she treats us people down here.
Yeah, that he's
We're
like,
puppets to you.
that shark went, what was it? Left Shark was the
Left
name?
Shark was the
went into
greatest
business
thing.
for itself and like, this is stupid. And then everyone always just talked about Left Shark for that
Left
year.
Shark was the best. I almost bought the actual costume.
No one was talking about me the next day. Now everyone's talking about you on TikTok.
What is with her inflection? TikTok.
Because she's trying to sound more elegant and educated than she is. She's a dumb dumb. Yeah. It's when she's trying to sound more sophisticated.
Her inflection is
Tooth never digest. I mean, he would be an A+ on.
Wait a minute. What did she say?
I mean, look at him, little corn tooth never digest.
Yeah, the corn that's sticking out of the thing's mouth.
I mean, he would be an A+ on the Bristol stool chart, right?
Jokes, everybody.
Excuse me, Mr. Poupette. Earlier today, were you a breakfast burrito?
Earlier today, were you a breakfast burrito?
I don't know how digestion works.
You were not? Well, looks like the salsa.
Looks like the salsa.
Like, people paid for this. Like,
Yeah.
this is terrible.
And this isn't like, concert tickets are expensive, but for a Vegas residency,
Yeah,
several $100s
probably.
to go to these things.
Ugh. Like someone said, hey, you know what would be really funny? Some shit banter.
Yeah.
That'll
Because
sell the seats.
I need to have a set that looks like a bathroom with a toilet that looks like it's alive with a piece of poop that comes out singing there. I hate shit humor. I know everybody likes fart jokes and all that stuff. I've never liked any of that stuff. Just not that person. Massive pop star, world renowned. Countless hits. Doing
Married to Legolas.
doing
That poor
shit jokes and poorly.
Right.
Ridiculous.
Oh, that's so bad.
Big Red Tower. I work for Katy Perry. I'm the voice of the turd in the toilet, Mom. Some lucky lady. I think it was a guy.
It was definitely a dude.
Well, you never know nowadays. You can't.
Well, no,
label
he's just a
people.
puppet.
Right.
No one makes sense.
Hellraiser saying if she were on drugs, that would be the solution. She's just loony. They're saying, oh yeah, she needs to go to rehab. Casey in the chat saying, I'm less bothered by the peacock than I am by anything, Katy Perry.
Just the worst.
So yeah, so that dumb is going crazy on her tour.
Now, here's the big question.
Mm-hmm.
She will be here in Phoenix on July 12th. Do I go? To
Yes,
get
you
footage
do.
For the show?
Yes, you do. You do. Do it as a thing with your daughter. Take her for that.
No, I love my daughter too much.
Okay.
I'll do it as a punishment. Like, you know, if you guys don't clean your room, I'm taking you to see Katy Perry.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see. July 12th. We'll see if I we'll commit to the bit. If she hasn't canceled her tour by then.
Your daughter?
Yeah, I hope she cancels it. Get on the phone with Katy Perry. I got to cancel this shit.
I think we're going to skip disasters this week. We'll save it for next week. It doesn't matter if they're old. It's still,
like I said, those kinds of things are evergreen. We can always check those out.
I want to introduce you to a bit that if you grew up in the New York City area listening to radio from the 80s into, I think, the early 90s when it ended, you know this particular segment. It was paid advertising that somehow also required every jock at the station to voice a part of the advertisement.
Really?
And what it was a promoter promoting clubs in the tri-state area. Events, what was going on, drink specials, contests, all those kind of things. And it was called OutQ. And the whole slogan was OutQ, your club and... Well, let me see if I don't have that thing. OutQ, your club and concert calendar. And then it would go into the jocks talking about these terrible club events that were happening in the area. So we talk about it in the special that we taped for May 4th. Again, that'll come out on Sunday on YouTube and all the audio platforms. I was looking, I was like, I can't find a copy of it, but everybody knows it, remembers it.
Yeah.
Couldn't find
all three of those guys had fond memories of this.
Yeah, we all knew it. Everybody knew it. We just couldn't find a legit copy of it. By luck, I found another person who archived radio stations, whatever, and didn't edit one of their air checks and went through it and found it in the commercial break. So we have it. I want to introduce you, because we might steal this bit and make it our own, to OutQ, your club and concert calendar.
Your club and concert calendar. Tonight at the Polo Club in Neptune, it's the original Jersey Shore Ladies Night with the Party Dolls live. Plus drink specials for ladies until midnight. That's tonight at the Polo Club on Route 35 South in Neptune.
Tonight at Liberty's, it's National Swimwear Illustrated's model search with over $10,000.
There was always a model search going on.
Right.
It was just an excuse to get women in bikinis up on a stage. The crowd would vote by audience participation, and they would win like $500, $1,000.
And cash and prizes. Register at Eugenia Swimwear of North Brunswick and Dynasty Limousine in Hoboken. Liberties in Woodbridge.
Wednesdays are hot at Escapes. Tonight it's the Cover Girl.
See, even the club names are terrible. You know, the one I said I remembered isn't in this piece of production, but there used to be a club called Hunkabunkas.
Yeah.
And you just hear them say that. It's like live, go down to, out of Merrick, Long Island, Coconuts. And you're like, what? How do you take these places seriously? But they all had these terrible names. I think we could do something where we could come up with our own clubs segments every week about shit that's going on in the fictitious area around this show. And if we can get a couple other people to voice it too, because the voices all have to change. So that's me and you. I need to find a female voice, somebody I know that could do it. I think there's something here. We could come up with this. I can recreate the production, all of this stuff.
In Hoboken. Liberties in Woodbridge.
Wednesdays are hot at Escapes. Tonight it's the Cover Girls live singing Show Me Because of You and more.
The Cover Girls, a freestyle band that had one moderate hit. And now that's the equivalent of playing when you do like mall tours, and record store openings.
Come down to Club Mahogany, where Cameo Cover Band will be playing the hits until 10.
Yeah, we'll be playing the hit. Word up.
Word up.
The Cover Girls live tonight at Escapes in the Merrick Mall in Merrick, Long Island.
See, the Merrick Mall in Merrick, Long Island.
The all-new Panache is the party place.
Panache. Let's go to Panache this weekend, guys.
Place for young adults at the Jersey Shore. Ages 16 and up can dance in the cool new atmosphere from 8 until 1 with no alcohol served. Panache on the Boulevard in Seaside Heights.
Friday night kicks off the weekend at the Polo Club on Route 35 South in Neptune.
There's no excuse not to be at Escape.
Now, this I didn't realize it.
Sexy ones like strip clubs.
Yeah, I didn't realize. So the OutQ portion's done. One of the clubs that advertised within the OutQ thing then also paid to have a long form advertisement for their club after it. So this is was during a time when everyone thought they could just be on the radio. So club promoters and owners and stuff are like, oh, I'll record the commercial and you can just air it like that. That's exactly what this is. Listen
down to Club Echo, where we're going to have $3 drink specials until 9.
Right. Listen to how terrible.
Tonight, Staten Island Hot New Dance Club kicks off.
Oh, wait. I went.
Mike, my favorite part about that
What?
is that the music's so loud, he's got reverb going, and he's trying to power through it.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost an incoherent
There's
mess.
no good mixing. There's no great production for all of this stuff here. The jocks got paid a minimal fee to voice their stuff in there. Some of the ones I had to cut out were like, join me, whatever the stations was, Jenny from the block will be there handing out free lanyards and t-shirts. And it's like, it was just so sad.
There's no excuse not to be at Excuses.
Tonight.
Excuses is the name of the club. There's no excuse not to be at Excuses.
Come down to Club Mystic, where we're serving chili until 11.
Yeah. I want
chili night.
I have a couple ideas of some clubs that have ongoing
I have so
themes.
many things going on in my head.
One of them is just I want to be. It's like every week they have to explain why somebody disappeared from the club and is still missing.
Come check out our new bartender this week.
Yeah.
Staten Island Hot New Dance Club kicks off Wednesday summer.
Yeah, you're right. The music is so loud. Nobody balanced this. It's like, well, that's how it gives you the club feel because the music's so loud. It makes you feel like you're in the club. I don't need to be sitting at home on a Thursday at my house or in the car heading home from work to hear the club feel while I'm sitting in traffic on I-95 or the LIE saying, man, I need to get my ass out to Excuses this weekend because that seems to be where the party's at.
No excuse not to be at Excuses.
Tonight, Staten Island Hot New Dance Club kicks off Wednesday summer.
And they're all the hot new locations, meaning that the previous clubs
all in the same block.
Yeah, they keep closing down and just new people come in and open it up. It's like, oh, I bought it now. Now I'm going to run it the right way. And they all seem to just lose money because it's always the brand new opening or the brand new club or...
No, here's the bit though. Every club that we do, everything that we talk about is always on the same stretch of interstate. Like all the clubs we're promoting are within like a block of each other.
Right. Oh my God.
Everything's on I-95.
It's just the main.
It's just the club row.
Yeah, it's the main street through a small town. That's where every club is. It's like Little Italy, where all the restaurants are next to each other, and the people are standing outside trying to invite you in to come and eat at that particular restaurant. It's like that restaurant's no different than that one, or that one over there. You all have the same menu.
No, you wanted Excuses 2, the sister club, five streets down.
Exclusive, yeah. Excuses 2 is on the upstairs. You got to go through the back entrance. To go upstairs.
Peace party with the Acapulco Getaway.
Oh yeah. Listen to this.
Staten Island.
You can tell how dated this is too, because we talked about this. Obviously, like Love Boat from the 70s into the 80s, game shows, the big romantic or vacation giveaway was a trip to Acapulco.
Sunny Acapulco.
And that was like the spot to go for vacation while you're in Mexico. It's like you want to go to now it's Cancun, or maybe not even Cancun anymore because cartel shit's going on down there now. But it used to be, remember, all the cruises stopped at Acapulco. You do the Showcase Showdown at Price is Right. It's like, you win a trip to Acapulco. You know, that was the big location.
Yeah.
This is what they're giving away.
Hot New Dance Club kicks off Wednesday summer beach party with the Acapulco Getaway.
Win a trip for two to romantic Acapulco, Mexico. Compliments of Regime Travel with offices in Brooklyn and Staten Island.
Sink your teeth into Excuses old-fashioned summer barbecue with chicken, steaks, and ribs.
Chicken, steaks, and
ribs. Like, he was very excited about the ribs.
Sink your teeth into the summer barbecue with chicken, steak, and ribs. You know who would be great at this? Dennis Falcone.
That would be good.
We got to get Denny back on the show to do this. Ladies' night at Club Puppies.
Chicken, steaks, and ribs.
Then slide your body into Staten Island's hottest music and exciting laser light show.
See, everything is the newest thing. Like, there's no longevity from... I wonder if that was the thing. Like, if you
That's
go
another
back,
bit. Everything's going to be new to us.
couple weeks prior, it was a whole different club lineup because they all were, brand new. They failed. Somebody came in and bought the space, was going to reopen it. They just they changed the name, hose it down, and continue to lose more money by this failed location.
Staten Island's hottest music and exciting laser light show.
Could you imagine going to a club? The music is way too loud, and there's a laser light show happening at the same time.
Hitting you in the eyes every 3 minutes. You're trying to drink.
It's burning your retinas. Yeah, you don't know not to look at the lights. Like, don't look directly at the sun. You're
Coming
watching
down to Club LASIK
and
this
it wasn't,
week.
It's not even like the technology they have now. It was just the red lights that would spell things out on the floor.
Yeah, it was the worst.
It's the Acapulco Getaway Beach Party, hosted by Hot 97's Freddie Colon.
Well, all right, Staten Island. Freddie Colon reminding you tonight's the night.
Now, that guy sounds like he's 40. That guy can. Now, this was before Hot 97 was the legendary hip hop station that it became. Yeah. This was still a Hot AC top 40 style station. Why is it?
Freddie Colon reminding you tonight's the night you could.
I want to get back to when he pops in. You can just tell that it wasn't recorded at the same studio. They're like, we'll leave this 10-second thing here. You got to fill it in so it can air on your station.
Well, all right, Staten Island. Freddie Colon reminding you tonight.
The music stopped abruptly.
Just a hard cut.
Yeah, it's just like, stop. Oh, back then, get the razor blade, cut the reel, tape it over here, put that back on.
All right, Staten Island. Freddie Colon reminding you tonight's the night you could win a trip or two to Acapulco, Mexico. It's excuses.
If you didn't hear the previous minute of us talking about winning the trip to Acapulco, you could win a trip to Acapulco.
Acapulco Getaway Beach Party, and I'll be there with lots of Hot 97 giveaways. We're going to pack the house, so be there tonight.
Excuses Dance Club if you're 21 or older.
630 Midland Avenue, Staten Island, 718-667-9828.
Dress casual.
Call that phone number, everybody. If you're hearing that phone,
what's that number?
Call that number, and let me see. Should we call it?
Yeah, let's call it.
Okay, hold on. I'll plug in.
Yeah, no, we definitely call that number.
What if it's somebody's number?
I'm actually looking up Exclusives Club in Staten Island right now just to see if there was any history about it.
Hey, I'm looking for this club that... Yeah.
Hey, when's ladies' night? I heard you have ribs.
Can I still win the trip to Acapulco? This is a nursing home,
Am I too late?
Let's see if we can get the number again.
9828.
Dress casual.
718-667.
718-667.
9828.
9828. That's our show title.
Okay.
That's their number.
Hold on, I'm patching it in. Let's call.
Hello. We can help you find another business in the area since the number you called is not in service. I'll look for you now.
Oh, no. After 40 years, this club is not in existence anymore?
Stupid.
Dress casual.
Try those ribs.
Don't miss your chance to win a trip for two to Acapulco tonight at Excuses.
It seems to be the thing. That trip to Acapulco is the end-all, be-all of getting butts into the club. Also, drink specials. Ladies drink free until 11 on Wednesday nights.
Teen dance night. No alcohol after 10.
All right, so here's some of the ideas I want to do. One, a club where people keep going missing,
right?
And they have to address.
Didn't that happen though in Gittles' area though? Like, wasn't there that story where
at the Paramount
getting killed?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll do something like that where they got to quickly make it a frivolous excuse in the next promotion about why two people disappeared from the club last week or something, right?
So we're not associated with the kidnapping.
That's one club. Two, somehow tying in like a strip club into teen night, right? So it's like if we word it like except for Tuesday nights from 8 to 1 where it's teen night, no alcohol being served, it's got to be at an
strip club.
Yeah, later, in the same promo, they're promoting teen night, but then it said join us Friday and we name a porn star doing an exclusive appearance at this thing. We need another shitty dance club where it's just going to be something hokey, like a very like Hispanic night at an all Italian club. Something where it doesn't make any sense.
Sure.
There's different ways to go with this. Maybe there's something.
I like your other bit where we like you're promoting a club that's opening up this weekend for the first time, and then the next promotion
I didn't want to give that out because I know you. Yeah, that one's funny because all right, I'll tell you why that club always has a reason why it didn't open, but it's opening this weekend, and then the next week's promo explains why the club didn't open, but it'll open this weekend. It's always that same club. I mean, this one's
excuses.
Called. Maybe we should call it excuses. I was going to say it had to be something. Some of the name, like ellipses or accents or something. Oh my God, accents! It's a different theme night.
Yeah, but we have to get Luby to do it because she has an accent.
That's a great
That's
idea.
the accents bar.
And then she could just talk about all the because we got to set it like in the 80s.
Yeah.
So she can get stereotypical with it and it would fit the time. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm going to write that one down. That's funny.
We could play a bunch of, what was her name? Charo?
Charo, yeah.
Remember?
Charo
we could play her. Isn't she, what was this?
Coochie.
Coochie. Who was the Chica Chica girl? Oh, Chica Chica was, there used to be a show called Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
I loved watching Glow.
There was, I wonder if it was the Hawaiian girl. She was like rather large, but she was Hawaiian. And her promos always started and ended. It might be her. I don't remember. I have to go look at it. But one of the wrestlers, their promos always started and ended with her going, Chica, 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 promo. And then they would end with Chica, Chica, Chica at the end of it again. So we could get all of that. All right. There's a lot of potential to this.
There's a lot.
Okay. So we're going to bring this back in a big, big way where we're going to out-cue your club and concert calendar. And also, if you're out there, if you know clubs like this, I'm sure beach communities have stuff like this.
I'm sure there's a lot of East Coast. I mean, you're not going to find this is middle of, Montana. You're not going to get this, but a lot of East Coast stuff, you're going to probably have this.
Send us some of the ideas that you're hearing. Well, let's figure out how to rip it off or reimagine it in a different way.
Also, was the woman you were talking about Mountain Fiji? That was
it. Mount Fiji.
Yeah,
and I think her things always started going Chica, Chica, Chica like that.
Yeah.
Intersect saying in the chat, I used to live in a college university town here in Canada, and there was a part of downtown called The Row, and it was the street that had every club and bar. So Jordan knows his stuff. Let's do a couple other things before we get into segment 2 here.
Chica, 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 Chica.
I have I don't want to do the Hogan promos. They were dumb. But
I watched him on Fox and Friends. I saw a clip today where he was promoting his wrestling bit that him and Bischoff are doing.
Yeah, and I get it. It's a whole thing to promote people that are in like collegiate wrestling to have events where
it's like real wrestling.
It's real wrestling where they're allowed with the theatrics of professional wrestling, but the matches are real and they have a chance to make money where they can't make money off their
I just don't know why he can't seem to get past the bleach blonde mustache.
Well, it's not bleach blonde. It's white gray now.
Well, yeah, but then he's still doing the black shaven beard look like he's NWO still, and it's just I don't know. Something about it felt very cringy. I didn't hear Bischoff talk. Like I have to go back and watch the rest of the clip, but
Bischoff is like the one guy they got is financing the thing. Hogan's the mouthpiece for it, and Bischoff is probably the guy running the actual business of it.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right. You want to talk about the Gandalf professor?
Yeah, that guy's cool. Yeah, do that one.
So this video showed up. It's a college classroom. He's dressed up as Gandalf, and he has to make an announcement to the class.
You all voted to know your grades before the semester's over. I'm just making it more fun. Please stand up if your last name is Mortensen, McKellen, Wood, Aston, Lee, and Bloom.
So he's dressed, for the radio audience, he's dressed as Gandalf the Grey. And he just asked, if your last names are this, please stand up. So people around the, because it's all those classrooms are built like a half theater kind of thing, right? Stadium seating, I guess is what it's called. So people from around the room are standing up based on the names he said. So the camera's panning around, showing the people are standing up.
You shall not pass!
So he does the whole theatrics, slams his staff into the ground, and then this.
Everybody else, you got a C- or higher. Have a great summer.
And he's playing the music as they're all getting up to leave the classroom.
I mean, that's more. You need more teachers. Like, teachers get paid shit. I know, like, professors. To make this fun, to do something like that's worth it.
Right.
Good for him.
So this video starts making the rounds, and the people in the comments are dumb. Everybody's just dumb. Nobody thinks, right? Now, there is an error, a percentage of error. Is that what it's called? Margin of error.
Margin of error.
Because a lot of people may not know Lord of the Rings. Younger people may not know Lord of the Rings. They don't know the books. They don't know the movies. Okay. So if they don't know this, okay, then this is why they're reacting that way. Other people do know it and are just idiots because they're saying how humiliating this is to the kids being told this way, that they failed their finals and everybody else got passed and they could go. And it was a lot of that. People were upset with the way that this was handled, like a public humiliation kind of thing.
Right.
Jordan, please explain to everybody what this video really was about.
For those who didn't catch on, this gentleman announced the last names of all the main actors of the movie The Lord of the Rings. Viggo Mortensen. You had, who else? Go back through the names real quick. To the first part of it.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, so McKellen, Wood, Elijah Wood, Sean Astin, Orlando Bloom. Like, these are the actors' last names of the movie. And, and he was smart enough to have a few of his students play along.
Right.
Stand up like they were really being put in front of everybody and being paraded around, and made a fun bit out of it. Very smart.
Right.
Very fun. What a good way to kick off the summer for these kids.
Mm-hmm.
The audiences are stupid.
Yeah.
The people in the comments are stupid people.
This is why
I say,
but there is a margin of error because not everybody knows the books or the movie.
Sure.
A lot of younger people may not know this property. So, okay, that's fine if they're thinking that this is just a humiliation thing.
Mm-hmm.
They just, because they don't know. Other people who know Lord of the Rings, some people are saying this is a really cool way to do all this, which at first I watched it, I'm like, oh, this looks pretty cool. I'm like, that's a great way to do it, until I saw the way the girl is when they pan back to the right. The girl there, she's smiling and everything. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this is fake. And I listened to the names again. Oh, that's the actors.
Yeah,
Okay.
I caught the names on the second watch through, and I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, but the amount of outrage people had over this video in the comments, saying this is humiliating, this is not what teachers should be doing, this is disrespectful. Everybody is fucking dumb and emotionally stunted for some reason. That they all like, you can't treat people this way. Yeah, you can. In fact, I would prefer to find out I failed a final by this, because then at least I could laugh at it and I have a story for the rest of my life. It's like, you want to know how I knew I failed that class? Let me tell you. No, you didn't. Yeah, I did. I may even have a photo of it. Let me see through my phone and see if I got it. People are dumb. Now, that video, we're going to end with this video here. This video is just common sense. It's a guy walking around. I think it's Manhattan. It's very Opie-esque the way he's filming this, but that's the only comparison I'll give it to it, because what he's saying makes a lot of sense here. Take a listen.
We have bigger fish to fry at the moment, but we got to stop with unalive. We got to stop saying unalive online. It's like the most embarrassing way to talk. And you're like, oh, I don't want to get shadow banned. I don't want my views to go. It's like, are you hearing yourself talk? You're scared of an algorithm from a random tech company in China. You're scared of a line of code from halfway around the world. So now you're forever going to speak like you're doing the kids bop version of yourself. Like, the word eggs does not belong in the word sex. That's disgusting. Like, would James Baldwin write the word unalive? Would Maya Angelou use the word grape to describe sexual assault? Not only does it demean the victims, ruins a perfectly good fruit. I just feel like people are randomly being deported to a prison in El Salvador right now, and you're like, I can't say the word porn. I have to use a corn emoji. I can't say, just say OnlyFans. You're 33 years old. The world's falling apart. Just use your words. I think it's important to use our words right now. And if you're that afraid of being censored, then just get creative with it. Because if I have to read the phrase unalive one more time, I'm going to fix myself a bleach martini.
Right?
It's so good.
Right? He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Every time someone says grape or unalive, I want to unalive myself.
Yeah.
Like, it's just ridiculous, the stupidity of the internet now, and the algorithm, like you said, that it relegates you to the fucking dregs of the internet because you wanted to get your voice out there and have as many people see the video as possible, but you're so afraid that you're going to get shadow banned. And it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, I've seen it countless times on Instagram when I've responded to normally Doctor Who posts or something like that, and I just go, you're an idiot or you're stupid, and you get flagged for hate speech or harassment.
We have a mutual friend who does content on TikTok and Blue Sky because he won't be on anything else, and he has used the term grape when he talks about this stuff, and I'm just like, you're a grown man.
Yeah, but he's an ally.
I don't care.
This is a safe space for everybody.
Because that guy's right. Like, funny joke aside, it does demean victims when you want to just be silly about how you refer to it.
You know where this all can be traced back to? There's an old George Carlin bit where he's talking about words and why words are important and the intent of your words is important. Because he said, you know, I mean, he balanced it out because he said, he goes, somewhere down the line, shell shock. He's like, it's like a very impactful, hearty, earthy word. Shell shock means, you know, when soldiers were coming back from World War II and they were having a rough time mentally, physically, they were shell shocked. And he goes, but then somewhere it became battle fatigue and post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, he called it soft language.
Right. And he goes, and if you maybe went back to using shell shock, and he's like, these veterans would have gotten the help and the attention that they needed instead of, you know, lightening it up to make yourself feel better of what to call things. And he balanced it out where he also talked about a joke where he said, you know, Verve can be funny. And he goes, and it's all about the context. He's like, terrible act, but he goes, picture Porky Pig or even Elmer Fudd. And he goes, that's where it's funny. He goes, so stop misusing the language and use it for what it's intended for. And it's like, and the purpose that it's intended for, and things will get done and handled better. And everybody always has to come up with their own slang, their own, it's like, well, it means this. All right. Well, one of the ones that I hate, glizzies.
I hate
glizzies. What is it? Oh, that means hot dog. No, hot dog is a hot dog. Yeah, but the glizzy's not even what it is. Glizzy was a regional term for guns and gun violence in the Washington, D.C. area. And I forgot the gentleman. It might have been a rapper or writer or something that came up with the term way back in the day. And now all of a sudden it's being adopted to mean hot dogs.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not. It's stop coming up with your own slang and your roundabout ways of saying things, and shit will get done. There'll be no misunderstandings. If you say things direct and honestly to people, they go, you can't say that, or like, what the hell's wrong with you? I'm being honest with you. This is exactly what needs to be said, how it needs to be said, because that's the impact of how serious this is or what this is meant to be or meant to mean. I was glad to see that video because he's just sitting there and he goes, stop saying all of these things. Yeah, all the time. And they equate stuff like that, where he's talking about unalive and grape, right? With the other side of it, where people are saying they can't say porn, and social media platforms, some of them won't let you talk about OnlyFans. Now, I get it.
Oh, yeah, they call it OF or spicy content here.
Yeah, they show the chili emoji with a fire flame or something like that. So it's like, yeah, I understand you can't show the photos, but you shouldn't be banned from saying it, because at this day and age, Everybody knows what it is, even though the site says, "Oh, we were built for fan bases for like music acts and celebrities." They don't use that. It's all women. I mean, guys too, but it's mostly women on there that are doing provocative content at a price behind a paywall. It's structured, it's regulated, it's all of that stuff. It is what it is. It's not like this is something fairly new. It's been around, what, 5 years now?
Give or take.
OnlyFans, right? Everybody knows what it is. Every time there's somebody on Instagram or TikTok, people joke about it now. What is the first thing you do when you see a girl on there? It's like, oh, you click the link to see the link to the spicy site, to the exclusive content, to, I forgot what the other term it is. Something about be my friend or something like that. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, let's be friends, and here's the link and all of that kind of stuff. Say what... You could get so much further nowadays because everyone sugarcoats stuff. Everyone is so like several steps removed from what things actually mean and what they want to say. If you just cut through all that and say directly, you get a lot further in life if you just say what you mean instead of being roundabout about it.
Yeah.
Crack the Whip says, I have PTGD, post-traumatic glizzy disorder. They used to call it sausage shock. Wordplay, Yuma. Fucking...
He doesn't know what he just did.
I'm stealing that. Stealing it's mine. Bop, now it's mine. Fucking A. Before we go to break, wanted to give a shout out to our agent, super agent, Rob Stark. I got my Utopia of the Seas clothes.
Nice.
Look at that. Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, he had a nice experience on the cruise, and now we're planning the It's Erik Nagel Cruise Spectacular with me, Rob, and you at some point.
Yep, maybe a few other people. We'll get it all together. We'll all go out on a cruise.
If we can get the Giddles to do it, that would be hilarious.
He will never, because Giddles doesn't enjoy anything fun.
That's the win.
Yeah.
That's to get him on there.
Giddles likes to work and be miserable all the time. Yeah. He does not like things that are fun. And now I'll hear from him saying, that's not true. I like it. The fact that you wrote to me, and I'm speaking to the future, the fact that you wrote to me with something like that means you don't have fun.
Right.
I'm just kidding. All right, take a break. Let me have the thing here. Where is it? All right, we'll be right back.
More It's Erik Nagel. It's Erik Nagel. Next. It's Erik Nagel. Follow the show on all social medias at It's Erik Nagel for ways to watch or listen to the show, both live and on demand. Go to itseriknagel.com.
Hey, it's Danny McBride. You're listening to It's Erik Nagel.
Segment 2 of the show. Erik and Jordan here with you, talking about television, movies, streaming updates, all the things going on in the world of entertainment and your viewing pleasures, what you need to know about. And as we do each and every week, we start off about things that we've just recently watched and enjoyed or disliked. Jordan, start us off. What have you watched?
So The Accountant 2 is hitting theaters, I think it was last week, and I didn't realize that movie was going to get a sequel, the original, and so I went back and I watched the original Accountant with Ben Affleck, and it was actually really enjoyable. It was kind of interesting where Ben Affleck plays this autistic guy who's very good at, running the numbers, doing all this stuff, and because his dad was in the army, got like all this training, and it was kind of enjoyable. So now I really actually want to see the second one. So I watched The Accountant, good movie, and then I caught up on Andor. Season 2 is out now.
Wookiees don't live on Andor.
6. Andor what?
I just said Wookiees don't live on Andor.
Andor what?
Wookiees don't live on Andor.
So
supposed to keep it going. Fucking doesn't get the bit, guy.
God.
Ruined everything. God damn it.
Episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are out, and I am caught up completely. I've watched all 6 episodes. I'm pretty convinced it's probably the best Star Wars property that's been put to screen since like the original trilogy of movies.
I've seen the first really 3. The second 3 I'll watch probably starting tonight.
Yeah,
and then
they're really good.
I'll get into the rest in a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, so did that. I've been listening to a few new things. I found a band which is kind of hilarious that I found them on TikTok. I thought it was a joke. Turns out it's not a joke. They're called The Paradox. And this band is kind of like Blink-182, Newfound Glory. They're doing a lot of pop punk. It's 4 black dudes, but it sounds like Newfound Glory. And their song, Do Me Like That, is actually really enjoyable. Like, it reminds me of early, like, 2000s, mid-2000s pop punk. So, super fun, super good.
Look at them.
Yeah, and they're just high energy. They opened for Green Day on part of the tour. You know, they're hitting it pretty good, and they're really enjoyable. So if you want like a good pop punk style band, but it's 4 black dudes,
right?
You know, yeah, The Paradox. High
This
energy.
to my playlists here.
Yeah, they're really cool. And then I found a hip hop artist from 2001. Well, I went down this rabbit hole where I found these albums that do like jazzy versions of like Wu-Tang.
They're nothing to fuck with.
No. But it led me down this rabbit hole, and I found this artist, a hip hop artist out of New York.
Get out of here. Hip hop in New York City? What?
You wouldn't think I would have found it there. This guy has the weirdest name, but the album that I found
is it
called
Fushnikins?
No, I remember them.
Is it Del the Funky Homo Sapien?
No, but close. This guy's name is Damu the Fudge Monk. DAMU, and then Fudge Monk. MUNK. Super good. Like really, really good hip hop. Like low key, kind of just really good lyrically. If you want like a New York style, not so much like
wow, it's in the system.
Yeah. Damu the Fudge Monk.
What was the song?
I've been going through this album called Conversion Piece.
Okay.
It's a purple album. I think the one I was listening to that I really liked
Convergent Piece or Piece of Action?
Oh, Conversation. Excuse me. Conversation Piece. I was misreading it. So Conversation Piece.
Okay.
By Damu the Fudge Monk. I was listening to Power of the Mind and Enchanted Spirits. I think they're the two that I was.
Which out of the two?
Power of the Mind is really good.
Okay. Okay. I'll check them out.
So, it was such a weird thing kind of running across that. Didn't think the name was like, okay, this is weird, but yeah, very.
Crack the Web's asking, which Fudge Monk is this? Alvin? Simon?
Clarence.
The fourth
and then
Fudge
I found
Monk.
Clarence the Fudge Monk. Yeah, and then I found a couple other things like this brand called Brownout. They were doing like jazzy. Like I'll send you some stuff off air just that you'll like, stuff to play in the background. But these were the two things that kind of stuck with me.
All right,
finding a pop punk band of like
they're in the system.
Was interesting.
Tell me.
Brownout. Do Fight the Power. Do their version of Fight the Power.
They cover Fight. Oh, they do cover Fight.
This whole album is about this.
Okay.
And it's all jazzy, upbeat versions of other things. And it's just, you play it in the background, man. It's just so good.
Is it just instrumental?
Yeah, all instrumental. There's one guy that does...
funky. It's like Diggable Planets.
Yeah, exactly. Just fun to have.
Cleopatra Brown. Trip Fantasia.
But yeah,
I'm cool like that.
Stuff for like,
I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm just gonna do that the whole song. I'll just be like,
why not?
I'm cool like that. I'm cool. All right.
So yeah, some good stuff that I've been listening to. So a nice week of finding some
adding that to our
and
section.
I'll send you some more. I found ones from like this one guy that does the same kind of music, all instrumental of the Wu-Tang and all that stuff. So I'll send you a good list.
Fantastic.
Maybe
You've
I'll start
unearthed
bringing
some treasures, my friend.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring some good stuff.
Well done. Well done.
But that's what I've been doing this week. Watch anything?
For me, yeah, I watched a bunch. I've been watching more and more shit on YouTube lately, like in the last couple months. Like YouTube seems to be where I'm going for everything now. I watched Triple H was on Andrew Schultz's podcast.
Okay.
So I watched that whole thing. I watched the 3 Andors from the previous week. Oh, I watched the last week's Doctor Who episode because a new one just came out and I'll have to watch that. Okay. Like we said last week, he's fucking crying in this episode. Doesn't need to be crying, but he is. That aside, this story was really good. And
the story that they continued from.
It was a surprise sequel.
Okay.
They didn't promote it. They never talked about it. There was nothing known about this episode. It was a surprise sequel to an episode during David Tennant's era of Doctor Who. An episode called Midnight. This one, I think, is just called The Well. I don't know if that's the name of the episode, but
I think it might be.
Whatever this one here is a continuation of that at 400,000 years in the future. Same planet, same issue, and all that stuff. And when you find out, you're like, holy shit, this is a continuation of it. I was impressed. The story was really good. So far this year, we're 3 episodes in. 4th one's out now. I haven't seen the 4th one. Episodes 2 and 3 were pretty good. I'll leave it at that because he cries and then you're just sitting there. I had told you I threw my my mouse at my keyboard the week before watching the trailer for the next week's episode, and he was crying in that thing. We played it on here and I got so mad. I'm like, he's got to stop crying. Got to stop crying. And then, of course, I have to take my frustration out on official Doctor Who posted social media.
Sure.
Which is as one does. And there is a post where he's wearing an outfit like this. Like I don't know what this is.
Looks like it is a P. Diddy video.
Yeah, like he went to the white party, right?
Yeah.
So, the title and this is how you can tell that the Doctor Who current administration gives zero fucks about any of the old fan base. Because it's this post here and says, we said time and space, but he heard time and slay, all in capitals.
I know. It's like, at least you could have rhymed something else, but you didn't.
So slay. First post under that. The guy wrote and he said, bro, that outfit is lame, not slay. And then I responded right under it. Well, it does rhyme with slay, though. And it got a lot of frowny faces, and people were not happy with that. But I think you can decipher. Remember how we talked about clear and precise language, not roundabout speak? That's where you use roundabout speak. Not in the other situations. Dr. Crybaby, Dr. Fantastic, Dr. Fabulous, whatever you want to call him. I watched that. Was there anything else that I watched that was of note? I was watching video game play videos on YouTube for games that I'm playing. I started playing this game called Blueprints. And
I saw that on Game Pass.
It's available on if you have Xbox Game Pass. It's available there for free because you have the Game Pass, or it's pretty cheap on Steam if you want to get it from there. And you're what is it? The term bequeathed when you're left something when somebody dies.
Yes.
This giant property mansion, if you will, and you got to go and you own this mansion now, but it's all puzzles and stuff. Like each room has a different puzzle. It feels like Escape the Room, but it's not. It's solving puzzles to unlock other doors to find out what the hell's going on.
I wish it was like a backdoor sequel to Maniac Mansion or something.
Imagine you get to the end there and there's Dr. Fred and Weird Ed and Edna and all that. Yeah, it'd be fantastic. The meteor is back controlling everybody. So I watched the Triple H interview on Andrew Schultz. I watched Jim Norton's latest episode of Jim Norton Can't Save You with Colin Quinn and Rich Voss.
I think you posted it for me to watch. I hadn't gotten around to it yet.
It was very old school. I chortled heartily through the whole thing. It was fantastic. And then, of course, WATP and getting ready for Hackamania. So we'll have the live stream for that to watch and enjoy. Past that point, there's a lot of stuff I still have to watch that I haven't got to. I still haven't watched, and I'm pissed at myself because I keep forgetting to watch it. Righteous Gemstones has a whole new season, their final season, and I haven't watched one, and I got to go back and do it.
I haven't watched Shoresy.
I haven't watched that either.
I know. It's frustrating. I'm like, oh, there's so much stuff I keep
Stupid
forgetting.
life getting in the way. But maybe next week we'll have updates for you on that. Moving on, out right now in theaters, Thunderbolts. I mean, going, if you're listening on Friday, I'm there. Or maybe I've already seen it. I've got a 12 o'clock showing that I'm going to go see. It'll be fantastic. We did find out. I know some of you, they're like, I don't want to know anything about the movie. I get it. But this is more of a public service than it is a spoiler.
Plan your bathrooms.
Well, that one, too. Look online. There's people who do post bathroom breaks, so you know when to go. Because the movie's like 2.5 hours, I think, right?
It's a long one.
Okay. Credit scenes. 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
One in the middle of the credit sequence. One at the end of everything. And Jordan heard what about the last one?
This will officially be the longest end credit scene in MCU history. So they're setting something up big, or it's going to be fun.
X-Men, more X-Men stuff. I hope it's more X-Men stuff.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it's either going to be Fantastic Four lead-in because
or
we
Doom
get that in July, or there might be a Doctor Doom teaser to set up Secret War. What's next one?
Fantastic Four is in June.
Well, no, I'm at the Avenger stuff. Is it Doomsday?
That's the next one.
Okay, so that might be the big setup.
And then Secret Wars.
A lot of the time they
set
the big stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Very excited.
See.
I'm going to go tomorrow. Yeah. I had my AMC stuff all cleared up.
Good.
Still not happy with it.
You only spent $75 to go see this movie.
Yeah, I know. So you know what that means? I go to the Dollar General or Dollar Tree, buy cheap candy, stuff the pockets, and then you know what I was thinking about getting the other day? You know Stubbs barbecue sauce?
Yeah.
They make those cheese puffs, the barbecue cheese puffs. I was like, I might have to get a bag of those and bring those to the movie theater. That might be instead of the popcorn, that might be the thing to do. All right. So yeah, Thunderbolts in theater. Also, the Alec Baldwin joint, Rust.
A little snuff film at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone's regretting that they ever made. I think the guy who wrote the movie said, "I regret ever making this movie."
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin doesn't give a shit about this. Everyone involved with this movie just wants it to be gone and forgotten about. So if you want to watch a really tragic, depressing cowboy movie that has none of that in the story, go see Rust.
It's supposed to be a comedy.
Over on the Max, HBO Max, Last of Us is struggling on episode 3.
Trucking forward.
Over on Disney Plus, like we said, the newest editions of the episodes for Andor, and then Light and Magic Season 2.
Yeah, it's the Industrial Light and Magic story. So the season 1, they went through a lot of like how Star Wars got built and how they really moved on to start doing things like Jurassic Park. And then season 2 is just a lot of more of that. It's kind of cool to see the behind the scenes of pretty much every single movie you've ever watched since the 70s and 80s being, part of that. So
over cool. On Netflix, we have the 4 seasons, which I've seen Tina Fey and Will Forte.
Yeah.
On everything. They were everywhere this week in New York on Today's Show, Kelly Clarkson. I think they did the Tonight Show.
Mm-hmm.
All of these places there. It's supposed to be a dark comedy, right?
Yeah, I guess so. And then I guess the early talks is that I guess it's they're going to try to actually put it up for like not Oscars, but
Emmy nominations
and things like that. So I mean, I guess it's good. It's got a good cast, so I think I'll check it out.
Right.
Eventually after everything else.
Available on your video on demand selections. Freaky Tales, Drop, Death of a Unicorn, which I think I want to see that one.
I want to watch it too.
And Hell of a Summer, which I don't know what Hell of a Summer is, but I'll go and look.
It's that Finn Wolfhard, slash him up comedy.
You already lost me with him.
Yeah, right.
Because they're now trying to push No Stranger Things with the Netflix Totem thing that's coming out later in May. They're like, the cast is all going to be here. It's like, where were you 3 years ago?
They're all in their 40s.
Yeah, no one cares. Like half of them are. What's his name?
Finn Wolfhard.
Finn Wolfhard looks as old as David Harbour now. So it's just like, which one is which? In theaters next week, Fight or Flight is the big movie coming out. Who is that?
Yeah, it's a Josh Hartnett movie where he plays an assassin. It takes a one last job on a plane, and the plane's full of other assassins. I don't know if you guys ever saw that. Bullet
It's like
Train
Con
movie.
Air in reverse.
Yeah, so that it kind of reminds me of Bullet Train, that movie with
My God, if it's all assassins and they were all hired to kill the other assassins, so
I
they're
think
all
so. I think that's the whole point.
Really? All right,
Yes.
I'll watch that then.
Yeah, it looks silly and dumb, and the trailer. Honestly, don't watch the trailer. I feel like it gives away the entire plot.
Okay.
For what this movie is, so don't watch the trailer. But it looks fun. It looks really fun.
You want to talk about a fun, terrible plane hijack movie? Passenger 57.
I was just gonna say, always bet on black.
Always bet on black. Yeah. So ridiculous.
Oh, those were so bad.
All right. Entertainment news and stuff. Jordan, take it away.
All right. The big
and be quick
story-
about it. Snap,
the big
snap,
story
snap.
today is Jeremy Renner did a podcast the other day where he basically lays out why he is not going to be doing Hawkeye season 2. He did an interview with High
Hot
Performance.
Guys season 2.
Yeah. Hot Guys season 3. He was offered half his salary from the first season of the Disney Plus series. They asked me to do season 2, he said. They offered to pay me half the money. Well, it's going to take me twice the amount of work for half the amount of money and 8 months of my time, essentially to do it for half the amount, he said. He went on to suggest that the proposed lower salary was a result of his near-fatal 2023 snowmobile accident. I'm like, I'm sorry, why? Why do you think I'm only half Jeremy? Because I got ran over? Maybe that's why you want to pay me half of what I made on the first season? He clarified that it's not Marvel. It's just Disney, not even really Disney. It's probably the penny pitchers or the accountants. I told him to go fly a kite. I mean, just at the end, it's just an insult offer. We just didn't see eye to eye. So basically, I don't know what the story was going to be. I felt like at the end of the first season, they were setting up Kate Bishop to be the head honcho. I don't see, if they do a Hawkeye season 2, him being that heavily involved in it. I know there were rumors of him bringing his character's brother into it, who's also another archer. It's just going to be like the Arrow, where everyone knows how to use a bow and arrow and no one has to do anything else.
Well, they already got his daughter that's going to be in Young Avengers, so, or not his daughter.
No, it's Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop, yeah.
So I feel like they probably weren't going to have him be a big part of it. So half the cost, sure, makes sense. So I think he's just taking offense where offense doesn't need to be. Who knows? I
what if he took a gate?
Roadhouse 2.
Get it?
No. Okay. No, I don't. I don't get it. Anyway, Roadhouse 2
I'm
is
tweeting.
being made.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So Roadhouse, they did that sequel or that prequel movie or whatever with Jake Gyllenhaal last year, and it actually did really well on Amazon. So they're making a sequel. The original director, however, is not coming back because he had a huge fight about how it was getting released, how it didn't go into theaters. There was talks of AI being used. He said there is possibly that he was owed theatrical release money. They said, no, there's, streaming is going to give you a higher budget, whatever. So he's not coming back. Guy Ritchie is taking over. He will be directing Jake Gyllenhaal in the sequel coming to Amazon Studios. Whether or not that gets released in the theaters, who knows? But right now they are going to move forward with it. So that's that.
Okay.
Speaking of weird sequels, or I don't know what they're doing with this, Miami Vice TV show, hit movie made by Michael Mann, is now getting another movie in the works with Joseph Kosinski directing. He was the one that did Top Gun Maverick. He did Tron Legacy. He's coming in to direct a Miami Vice. I don't even know if it's a sequel. So, yeah, I don't. There's very little about this right now. It's coming to Universal. It just doesn't make sense since they already did a movie. I don't know who's clamoring for this, but whatever. We talked about last week that people were destroying movie theaters with the Minecraft movie, yelling chicken jockey and doing all kinds of crazy dumb shit. Well, Warner Brothers decided to lean into that and has scheduled a block party edition coming to theaters where people get to go around and sing and talk during the movie and do all kinds of dumb, crazy shit, but with the studio's blessing to try to get more money. So the screenings are going to embrace fan singings, memeing along to their favorite moments. The announcement is Warner Brothers Pictures and Legendary Pictures invite fans back to the theater to experience a Minecraft movie together in a whole new way.
No.
You know the moments, you know the lines, you love the songs. Now it's time to get loose, laugh out loud, and belt out those lyrics like true Diamond tier fans.
Oh, there was
my problem is they're encouraging people to fuck up the entire theater at the expense of all these, low paid, theater goers, and I think it's ridiculous, but whatever.
There was a video I came across.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it! I should have pulled it, but I didn't. Somebody remixed Jack Black singing in Minecraft with Rob Zombie.
Really?
And it wasn't bad.
Okay.
Let me see if this is it. Hold on.
Because I know there's a guy online that his name is DJ Coverbun.
No, this is not it. Here it is.
You ever wonder what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken?
Hold on.
This sounds like Rob Zombie and Ozzy Osbourne.
Not bad.
I mean, it's a lot more enjoyable. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
All right. And then we're going to wrap this up with some really annoying news and really kind of frustrate me. Even though
you skipped a story that I didn't even know about.
I'm going to say that for next week because I know that's something we'll probably get into a lot of.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
I just saw that on there.
We can probably,
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we'll save that for next week. So we're going to end this with Microsoft announced today, May 1st, that they're going to be raising the price of all Xbox Series consoles. Xbox games are confirmed to probably hit $80 this holiday season. So we're about 2 weeks coming off.
I was afraid this was going to happen, and now it's happening.
So tariffs are going to be a big part of this. I think Nintendo also set that precedent.
With, this isn't tariffs. This is Nintendo's
set the bar high.
Yeah, and now everyone's like, "Oh, we can do that now."
Yep. So, this is weird because usually what happens with these consoles, we're 5 years into the console, we're halfway through the stuff. A lot of the times they lower prices.
Yeah.
And they do discount bundles and all this stuff. They're going a completely different direction. PlayStation did it about a year ago with the PlayStation 5. Microsoft is now following suit. The company said it's raising prices on Xbox consoles, controllers, headsets, and some games. The price hike for consoles and accessories kicks in today, May 1st. While game prices will stay the same for now, we should expect to see the Xbox charging $79 for new first-party games around the holiday season. Price increases are likely to take effect globally, with the exception of headset prices, which are only going up in the US and Canada. Going forward, here's the expected prices of the various Xbox consoles.
Yeah, we don't need to read each.
No, we'll hit some of the big ones. Like the big jump from what's going on is the Xbox Series X, the big guy.
Yeah,
is going up an extra $100. That system was already priced pretty high.
I know, and it's so outdated. I mean, not outdated, but it's
5 years old.
Yeah, it's elder technology.
Correct.
And like you had said, that as things get older, the prices usually decline because the
components are cheaper to make. They shrink them up.
Yeah, the drive, the desire to get those kind of things drastically decreased over time. So they lower the price to try to get more people to buy some of these things. Purposely raising an outdated console another $100 is bullshit.
It is a lot. Well, and then here's the other thing is that they're raising the prices on the controllers too. A couple weeks back, you got that Xbox controller at a pretty good price, for like $40.
Yeah, because it was a flash sale on the Target app, and then I had the gift cards.
Right. So what you're getting for that same controller that you just bought is going up to $64. The colored versions, like the crazy colored versions, are going to be $70. Mm-hmm. Special editions are going to go up to $80. The quote is, "We understand these changes are challenging, and they were made with careful consideration given market conditions and the rising cost of development. Looking ahead, we will continue to focus on offering more ways to play more games across any screen and ensuring value for Xbox players." Xbox and Microsoft have been pushing the ability to play in the cloud. New Samsung TVs are coming with the ability to play video games just on the TV with a paired controller.
This is a last attempt money grab because they either, all right, one, we said Nintendo set this precedent, so that's why they're doing it. Two, they're going to try to blame, price increase, the tariffs, all of that stuff.
Yeah, this is just good timing for them to do this.
Three, doing this now will set it to be okay going into the holiday time. So people are like, well, it's been that way for wherever. They're not going to think about the price increase come the holiday time. They may not buy it, but like we said with Xbox and PlayStation, those are people who have more expendable income that want it for certain reasons. Nintendo matching their price on this stuff is a family thing. Parents are going to go, if I'm spending $500 on a Switch and one game when I could buy many other things for my multi-kid family here, they're going to think about not getting the damn Nintendo and getting other stuff for that money with times being as they are.
Well,
this is also
was thinking
of
doing one of these little Series X's. And
you were going to get one?
I have one, but my kids play it, and I was thinking, I'll get that little Series S, the small guy, 512. Put it in his room. He has his own system now. He can play, but they're going $300 to almost $400 for that thing. I'm not getting that thing for him.
No, I've never bought the Xbox.
You haven't had the last two, I think.
I still have the one over there. Yeah. And that's only because certain games I still haven't played, which I keep saying I'm going to do Lego Dimensions. I'll stream it at some point, but I'm going to disconnect. I think my days of consoles are over because with the exception of probably Nintendo, everything else I can get through the PC, through Steam, through EA games, Epic Games, and all of those things. They make the online equivalent because more people want to play online than they do want to play by themselves, right?
Right.
So it's all here. I don't need to buy all this shit anymore. Also, when I was talking about why Xbox is doing this, their next system may not be ready. Or if it is, they know it's going to be disappointing. Like, this is not going to live up to the hype of past consoles, the next great step for console evolution.
Mm-hmm.
They push so much for the Game Pass, for the online stuff, the cloud stuff, whatever. If they get to the point where they go, you know what, we're not going to give a fuck about the consoles anymore. We're going to just focus on online gaming. You're going to force people, same company, into buying PCs so they can play games. So instead of buying consoles, they're buying PCs to play these games, laptops, things like that. I do all my gaming on I bought a laptop just for gaming.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was all tricked out and everything, and so we can handle all of this stuff. The PCs I got are all set to do all of this shit here. There's nothing that's on the console that either I can't get through Game Pass or buy through Game Pass to play on the PC that I need exclusively for a console. PlayStation,
raising it to $80 per game for first party things makes me glad I get most of my stuff through Game Pass now.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is not a price that I'm willing to pay for most games. Like my heavy hitters would be like with Nintendo. If the new Zelda comes out for $80, I'll suck it up and do it. Like that's my game. But I'm not going to pay $80 for an untested first party IP that I don't know anything about. Game Pass has been great for just popping in a game that I don't think I would be into. I might be surprised, like this Blueprints game that you just told me about earlier.
Right.
That's something on the Game Pass. I would have never paid for that. So I'm going to.
I found it on
I'll
Steam.
Like
it was recommended to me on Steam, and I looked at it. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then one of you guys told me, it's like, I think that's on Game Pass. So then I didn't buy it on Steam because I already had the Game Pass.
Right.
Might as well get it from there. Our pal Chris, Mr. Subdivisions, is in the chat. For the price of one NVIDIA 5090, you can get approximately 4.5 Nintendo Switches. You can also possibly burn your house down.
That's the way to do it.
Microsoft has lost on the Xbox for years, but they've always been fine with it because of what it guaranteed. A Microsoft product in every house, regardless of having a computer.
Oh, yeah. No, it's called a loss leader for a reason. It's really there to get it into your house, and then
they make their money off the accessories, the games, all
first party
things.
Licensing. Yep. Nintendo's the only console maker that really doesn't have a loss leader. What you're paying is what they're going to get money on.
Right.
They're going to break even or make money on the Switches. Xbox knows it's not going to make money on the systems. PlayStation knew they're not making money on the systems. But what they get you is on software, the licensing.
Well, up until recently, they were just glorified Blu-ray players, that could read the games off the Blu-ray disc. And then they said, oh, yeah, we're not going to be even doing the physical media anymore. It's all going to be digital download, cloud service, what have you. So if that's the case, you're essentially just buying a hard drive and a computer compacted into a console. Why not just get the computer and you could do more with it? I know cost, cost effectiveness, but this is not a good trend. As much as the video game industry thinks like, oh, we could sell our games for $80. Give it enough time when people are just going to get fatigued and go, I don't care how great these games are. And you're doing this right before, like a year before GTA 6 comes out.
Oh, GTA 6 is coming out at $100 minimum.
I know people will buy it. It'll do okay. But you're going to have the people go, I don't have the new console. I don't have the new PlayStation. I don't have these new things here. They might get the PC version. Or they just go, look, I love that game, but I can't swing this right now. Who knows in a year and a half time how the economy will be in everybody's financial situations to do stuff. But
we haven't even hit the official tariff season yet, because right now they put the pause for 90 days. You're looking at right after the Switch 2 comes out. That's when those essentially will go into effect. You're going to see, a lot of electronics being, more expensive. Now's the time to probably get some stuff that you've been kind of sitting on, because you never know if it's going to go up. I mean, I did not see this coming.
Yeah.
No one predicted that Microsoft was just going to raise prices $100 on a system that's 5 years old. Well, it's weird.
Well, that's it. All right. We got to go. We have to get out of here. We got to do the plugs. And as always, when the music hits, Jordan, our nation's eyes turn to you.
I am on Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube at Jinx Ronan, Twitch at Jinx Ronan 79. I'm going to be streaming some Oblivion here in the next couple days. I've been playing the remaster. It's beautiful. It's great. And they just built it from the ground up, and it's worth doing. If you've got Amazon Prime and you want to go over to our Twitch channel at It's Erik Nagel, use your little free subscription to subscribe to the show. Help us out a little bit. It doesn't cost you anything extra. You got to get in there every month. So if you're listening, get that subscribed. We would appreciate it.
All right. And for myself and get it on me. Thank you. For myself and the show, everything else there. Across the board, all the social media platforms at It's Erik Nagel. If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, do us a kindness. Put us at #1 in the presets on that app there. It means something.
I love you're on autopilot. You're not even reading.
No, not anymore. It's just, it is what it is. If you're on Apple,
socials?
Yeah, app and app. If you're on Apple and stop throwing me off on Apple and Spotify, do us a kindness, go over there, leave us a positive review on all that stuff. It helps out the show. If you want to join us live each and every week as we do this show, feel free to do so. Come and join the rooms on YouTube and on Twitch. Like, subscribe, notify, all the regular stuff you got to set up there. It's also free, so come in there. And if you want to throw some money around, who are we to tell you otherwise? You can do so by super chats and bits and tits and all that other fun stuff on the Twitch side. Everyone loves animations and boingy things that look like Homer's website over on that platform. Join either one of those. And if you can't do any of that stuff and just want to watch this when it's more convenient for you, then please do that as well. The full video, produced video, will be up available on our YouTube channel. And that is it. I think we're done.
Such a professional. I know. Just like all right there. You missed out on the best bit.
In a nice little package. OnlyFans? When did you put that on there?
Very sneaky, sir.
Fuck, now I got to start an OnlyFans before
you gotta start an OnlyFans.
Somebody squats on the name.
Otherwise, it's false advertising, my friend.
I had no idea I had an OnlyFans. If I have an OnlyFans, where's the money from it?
Ugh, not in my bank account.
I better be in the... what do they always put? We're in the top 0.1%.
Yeah, the 0.1%.
Like everybody that's on OnlyFans is on the top percent for all of that stuff.
I want to see the other 99%.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about it.
A bunch of cooking videos.
All right, until the next time, everybody.
Be excellent to each other.
We'll be seeing you.
It's Erik Nagel.
I gotta go. Huge laugh.
I gotta go.
Huge rolling in the aisle laugh.
All right, I'll do it.
Good. Get out of here, you big successful talk show host.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Erik Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itseriknagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends so they can tell 2 friends, and they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.